your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sacktown Sports.
Yes. On a Wednesday, Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports, taking up to 2 p.m. And everybody's getting on me. Okay, let me just get this out the way right now. And this is exactly what we've been talking about. I was talking to Pat, okay, from Pat and Cody, KNCI. Shout out KNCI. Country in the Park is coming up again. But I'm talking to Pat because it's this new coffee, man. You got to put it in the Keurig. You got to pick out your pod. You got to say, I don't know how many ounces this cup is. I don't know how many ounces it is. So I got to go there. It's brewing. What happened to the good old, you just walk up, Pat has brewed it for us. You just push down, get what you need, and go start the show. And we're going to start the show right now.
What happened to the old Pat makes your coffee
What
for
happened
you?
to that? What happened to that? These machines are taking over.
They're taking jobs from Pat. That's not
come
his job.
on, man. We're going to take over for the next 4 hours. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports. That's right. Strikes again. And man, oh man, the aggregation sensation is upon us. What we said yesterday on this show regarding the Kings, Malik Monk, Russell Westbrook, why this connection is still happening. The aggregators found it. And all of a sudden, it turns into Allen Stiles says the Kings still believe that the Kuminga Monk deal could happen. Now, personally, I do, but that is not fully what I said. That the Kings, I don't know what the Kings believe. Do I think that the Kings believe that? Yes, but I did not fully report that. We spoke about why this Russell Westbrook thing continues to just linger, right? Why it continues to just linger. Something else has been lingering, and we are going to tell you who that Eastern Conference team, I keep telling y'all over and over again, this team is going to do something random, and it's connected to this same superstar that refuses to just say he's going back to the team. And that's the biggest hint I can tell you. But because of that, I believe they are another option for not just the Kings, for a lot of different teams. It is reported that this team was in conversations with the Heat with Andrew Wiggins, a little east-to-east action. So I'm going to get into that and why this thing isn't done. Let's not forget what Domantas Sabonis said. Let's not forget Domantas Sabonis said more changes could still be happening. Let's not forget that, okay? So we have that information for you, and we'll tell you who that team is. The Heat might be insane for what they think they're going to get in a return for Andrew Wiggins. The restricted free agent updates, you're going to talk about Jake Gayden is going to be on the show, and we're going to talk to him about the Causeway Classic and how UC Davis might be running from the grind, all right, and why they may be running from the grind. Siegel Scoops, Brett Siegel, close friend of the show. Siegel Scoops is going to provide us some updates, not just on the K word, okay, not just on Jonathan Kuminga, but some other notes. That's where I got the information about the Miami Heat. We want to have some fun in the 12 o'clock hour. The most likely thing to happen this NBA season. Will the Thunder go back-to-back? Will the Kings make the playoffs? Will one of the ringless Hall of Famers get a ring? You could throw DeMar DeRozan in there. I don't know that it would be with the Kings, but could he end up on a team before the trade deadline that could help him to the promised land? CP3, Harden. As I was writing that up last night, Kyle, it took me about 2 seconds, maybe a little bit longer than that, to realize, because I was going to say, who could get the ring first? CP3, James Harden. Then I realized all these brothers on the same team.
Yeah, they're just all on the Clippers.
They're all, because Bradley Beal, what kicked this off for me is that Bradley Beal was doing a little mini interview, and he said, I need a ring. So that made me think, what is most likely to happen? So we have a list of things most likely to happen. We have how bad the injury luck has been for the Niners. And we go in the way back Wednesday machine because there is somebody, content creator, I'll give him his just due when we actually talk about it. But he said he went to a joint practice, and the Niners, the way they were warming up was a little bit different than the Denver Broncos. And man, oh man, it took me back to less facial hair, no gray hairs. This took me back to high school, to college, the old conversation of static stretches versus dynamic stretches. And we're not going to, fully assume that the Niners aren't doing any static stretches. But that was all the craze. That was the big conversation when I was about a senior in high school going into my freshman year at Sonoma State. Shout out to Sonoma State, even though it didn't work out for me there, and RIP to their baseball program. But they were great back in the day. But that was all the craze. Static stretches versus dynamic stretches. Because dynamic stretches, you all get in 5-6 lines, and you do high knees, and you hang one leg over, then the other leg over. You're not doing the static stretches. That was all the craze. And apparently the Niners aren't doing a ton of static stretches. They're doing mostly dynamic stretches. As somebody pointed out, hey, the Broncos actually had pretty good injury luck last season. Is this thing connected? Is this a ridiculous conversation? Yes. But what else are we going to boil down this injury bug to with the Niners that has lasted for about 5 years now? Off and on, probably longer than 5 years. What else can we connect it to? Different players. It's not the same players. Different players. The training staff has changed to a certain degree. I've already said it's just got to be the curse of Kyle Shanahan. But if we're not talking about the curse of Kyle Shanahan, it's got to be the stretching. Go back to your roots. Go back to the early 2000s, the 90s stretches. Sit in a circle. Have somebody lead the stretches in a circle. Whatever you got to do. Because I looked at the wide receiver depth chart right now for the Niners, and it is impressive how random it is. It is impressive how little I know about any of the guys that are preparing to catch passes from your newly paid quarterback in Brock Purdy.
Oh, I love that now they've gotten to the point where I guess they had him before, but you know how when you sign Eli Apple, you know that your cornerback room is cooked?
Yeah.
They signed the Eli Apple equivalent of if you're signing this guy, you know your wide receiver room is cooked in Chosen Anderson or Robbie Anderson or whatever his name is now. If you sign that dude, that is a confirmation your wide receiver room is cooked, and he might actually get some run for the terrible San Francisco 49ers wide receivers right now.
This is from Matt Mayoko. This was yesterday. The 49ers had tryouts for 4 receivers. No, come on, bro.
There's just no way.
The 49ers had tryouts for 4 receivers today. Jalen Camp, Frank Darby, Kwame Lassiter, and Malik Turner. These were the dudes that I told you about. These dudes went to a JUCO in Rockland. These dudes went to Sac City. What is happening in Santa Clara? These dudes went to DVC. You cannot convince me that not one of these dudes heard us yesterday and said, I'm going to go try out.
Kwame Lassiter last played for the Memphis Showboats of the UFL.
Come on, man. Literally, he was listening in the car and said, Allen's right. I'm going to go try out for the Niners.
Okay, it's not quite JUCO, but it might as well be because he played for Kansas under Les Miles, Kansas. Oh, that is a tough road to get to the NFL, playing at Kansas before Kansas was actually decent.
49ers receivers, Brandon Ayuk, PUP list, Jauan Jennings, calf / contracted from Matt Mayoko as well. Ricky Pearsall is good. Jordan Watkins, high ankle sprain. Demarcus Robinson could be suspended. Jacob Cowing, hamstring. Russell Gage, Robbie Chosen, Junior Bergen, Tariq Owens, Isaiah Hodgins. That's where we're at as far as it's just like I said, go just call them. We might have a hookup. Text the show, say, Allen, I want to try out for the Niners, and we will see what we can do for you.
Give me that list of tryout guys again real quick.
Okay. I'll give it to you right now. Jalen Camp, Frank Darby, Kwame Lassiter, and Malik Turner.
Is Frank Darby literally the name of the character from Naked Gun?
Am
I tripping? If I look that up right now, is that literally the name of the character?
It sounds familiar. It definitely sounds familiar. I saw here because I saw David Lombardi was on a Bay Area station, I believe yesterday, and he broke down what everything would kind of look like as far as if there was a game today. And I mean, the reality is it just starts off with, if the Niners play tomorrow, Ricky Pearsall is your number one. That's really all you have to know. And that's no disrespect to Ricky Pearsall, but that's really all you have to know about the Niners situation. So I don't know why they continue to find themselves like this every single season. But if it's the static stretches, if it's get these hammies right, these soft tissue muscles, whatever you got to do, because it is incredible what's happening out there in Santa Clara. What's also incredible, and I do have to be careful here, is this. I know I'm a Giants fan, so I'm not just trying to sound like a salty Giants fan, but this Shohei Ohtani thing, if it's a nothing burger, that's fine. But how does he find himself in these situations?
What do you mean? You're talking about the real estate thing?
So here's the breakdown, all right? Shohei Ohtani and his agent are being sued by a Hawaii developer and real estate broker, okay, two different guys, who allege the pair sabotaged their roles in a $240 million luxury housing project on Hawaii's Hapuna Coast for personal financial gain. The lawsuit claims Ohtani and Balelo brought in solely for promotional value, used their celebrity influence to pressure business partner Kingsbarn Realty Capital into removing the plaintiffs from the deal, destablishing the project and attempting to undermine their interest in a neighboring venture, accusing them of abuse of power, tortious interference, and unjust enrichment. The plaintiffs seek accountability, while Kingsbarn has dismissed the allegations as frivolous and without merit. Here's some of the quotes. Balelo and Ohtani, who were brought in the venture solely for promotional and branding value, exploited their celebrity leverage to dismantle the plaintiff's role in the project for no other reason than their own financial self-interest, a lawsuit claims. And spokesperson for CAA, which is where Ohtani is signed, declined comment. In a statement emailed to the AP on Tuesday, Kingsbarn called the allegations completely frivolous and without merit. Can I just say this? And look, I don't really know. Ohtani had the betting thing. Now there's this real estate thing, and I'm not making light of it. I promise you. I just don't really know what to do with it. But I will say this. This is why I'd love to have more money, but there comes a point where it's just, you got too much money. And I know he's getting this money on the back end and stuff, but I don't actually need $1 billion. I really don't. Just give me 300 mil and I'm cool, because you get to a certain level and you just start doing random stuff. Why are you even a part of? I'm not saying it's a big deal or not. A lot of people are saying it's nothing. It's just being reported because it's Ohtani, whatever. It's another lawsuit. Why? Just go. You hit into a triple play last night. Just go have fun. Like, why are you doing this?
I don't know. All I really know about Ohtani is that he only cares about baseball and like not much else. And I only know that because his agent stole like $18 million from him. Or I'm sorry, his interpreter stole $18 million from him, and somehow it went completely unnoticed. So I don't think this story is anything, or at least I don't understand why it's a story. But to your point, the people who want to make people remember Shohei Ohtani being in that gambling scandal are the people who are making this a story. It's either people who don't like Shohei Ohtani or people who want to believe the conspiracy that he's in on this and that the guy took the fall.
It could be Kyle. Look, it could easily be nothing. It probably is nothing. But you're Shohei Ohtani. Why are you in these situations? Why are you in these situations?
Saying Aaron Judge is never in real estate fraud lawsuits.
Honestly, and it's gone now, but this type of stuff is like the Onion, right? These are like Onion titles. Right? Shohei is getting sued by somebody wrongdoing in Hawaii. Like, what?
Hawaii real estate.
Like, during the season, we're about to hit the playoffs. The Padres are about to catch you in the NL West, and somebody's suing you from Hawaii?
Yeah. And by the way, hit his 43rd home run yesterday.
It's incredible. It is incredible. And there's always a tweet or a post that goes viral every time there's some weird Shohei stuff, and it goes viral every single time. So if you want some money, you want some Elon bucks, next time, because there will be a next time with Shohei. I don't know what it's going to be. We'll think of a joke later. But every time someone says, people keep ignoring this, and baseball wants to ignore, Shohei clearly has a bunch of skeletons in his closet. And it goes viral every single time.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people make the joke this time of like when you know Shohei Ohtani's a bad person, but you just can't prove it yet.
Right. There's just always something.
But again, like, we can have our fun with it. And honestly, I think it's less fun in terms of like his reputation being thrown in the mud. But like at the same time.
But Kyle, hold on. These guys, the Bryce Harpers of the world, let's see what happens with Juan Soto. Because Juan Soto, this is another level of money is what I'm saying.
Skeletons at the closet.
Yes, there's the 300 mil, and then there's the 500 mil, then there's the 700 mil. So let's see if Juan Soto has too much money and he just ends up being a part of random stuff. But with all the money being thrown around, I feel as if lawsuits, even without merit, would get brought up if they were happening. Like, why isn't somebody trying to finagle a situation with Aaron Judge, right? Why is it Shohei?
Yeah, you're saying it's just always comes back to Shohei, which I don't think it always comes back to Shohei. I just think it's that one big one that everyone is focused on, which is that his interpreter stole $18 million from him as part of an illegal gambling operation.
And a lot of people still don't believe that that's what happened.
But again, that's why that is the answer to your question. Again, it is very funny, but the answer is the people who are making this their story are the people who want to believe that the interpreter thing.
But Kyle, when you say the people that are making it a story, are you telling me that there are other MLB players or other professional athletes that are getting sued and it just doesn't getting their allegations and getting sued and it just doesn't get to the news? Is that what you're saying?
I'm sure some MLB players probably do, but I'm not saying it's $240 million in real estate deals in Hawaii.
This is crazy now. And I promise you, this is not about being a Giants fan. This is bizarre.
But I don't understand what is crazy about it. Just the details are.
It's just Shohei. Why are you a part of this?
Look, I don't know. It doesn't seem like he was really even much a part of it. It seems like the guys are kind of salty.
Yeah, well, you're right about that. He's known for having people do stuff with his money and him not having any clue.
That's probably why they're suing the agent, right?
How many times are we going to either Shohei is an idiot or how many times are we going to claim that Shohei does not know what's happening with his somebody in his camp? There's a mole in his camp that just actually wants him to lose.
Just gonna leak it one of these days. But no, the reason this is a story is the people who want to believe that Shohei Ohtani was involved somehow in the interpreter gambling scandal,
but you see what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand. It's like, but what other situations are we talking about here with Ohtani, right? Like the one that everyone comes back to is the interpreter thing, right? It's always
these are 2 in 2 years.
Yeah, but this, even if there's more in the future, it's always going to come back to the interpreter.
Do me a favor, all right? Go on Google or Chat GPT or whatever it is and find me other allegation lawsuits that were either settled or dismissed with other pro athletes, since you think that it's only being brought up because of this betting thing.
I think it's only getting aggregated because of the betting thing.
Then you can find me if Bryce Harper, one of these billion-dollar players. Just find it for me.
All right, let me look up Juan Soto real estate scandal.
Not yet. He just got paid. I'm looking at Bryce, Aaron Judge, one of these big boys, okay? One of these big boys. And speaking of, by the way, Kyle, it's Frank Drebin. So you were close.
Yeah, I've never seen the movie, but the name just rang a bell.
There you go. Well, thanks to all
But that's funny. Let's just operate under the assumption that that the guy from Naked Gun is trying out for the 49ers right now.
916 says, I'm 37, have 0 football miles on me, and I play a lot of Madden. So you're saying I have a chance? Give me a shot. 916, we will make the call. We will make the call. We are the Sacramento home of the 49ers, and we're going to find a way to respectfully say, do you want some of our listeners to try out? What do you have, Kyle? You found one?
Guess what? According to Philly Hustlers on May 28th.
Don't say Bryce.
Bryce Harper took social media by storm with a shocking announcement. He's investing $20 million to build a paradise to rescue stray dogs, promising loving homes for thousands of abandoned puppies.
That's beautiful. Now, if someone tries to sue him, then I'll say, okay, cool. It's just a thing that happens with rich people. But right now, there's only one rich person that it continues to happen to. Only one person continues to have weird money situations, and that's Shohei Ohtani.
All right, I'm going to go down the Reddit of why do people still hate Bryce Harper during the commercial break and get back to you.
Okay, fair enough. Speaking of things that I hate watching the Giants lose to the Padres the way they did is completely embarrassing. And I don't say this with a smile on my face or a song in my heart. If it's not going to be Bob Melvin because you gave him that option or you picked up his option for 2026, I'm not necessarily trying to call for anybody's job, but something has to change. They had 10 hits last night. They had 3 hits with runners in scoring position and somehow only scored 1 run. The Giants did. Pat the Bat, Pat Burrell. It's probably not your fault, but this is collateral damage, and you probably got to go. That's what I'm doing. If you get swept by the Padres, because after that, you have the Padres, then you get the Rays, then you have the Brewers, then you have the Cubs. You have the Padres again, I believe, before those. I'm sorry, Pat the Bat. I love you. Thanks for the memories. I don't even really think it's your fault, per se, but you got to go.
Someone's got to go.
Someone's got to go. If you're in sales, and, hey, it's a tough economy right now, blah, 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 and you're just nowhere near your numbers, you understand that there are some things you can and some things you can't control, but you can't keep watching this. You got to see if somebody else can do more in this economy. And that's where we're at with Pat the Bat. And like I said, I don't know why they picked up Bob Melvin. I don't know why they hired Bob Melvin. But if Bob Melvin is off limits until the end of the season, and you want to see if you can get that new coach bump, just a different look at things. I'm not trying to get too in the weeds, but when you watch the Giants at bats, they're way out in front on everything. I don't know if they are guessing. I don't know if because they're clearly not reacting. Okay, Patrick Bailey, Patrick Bailey just looked at another third strike, by the way, while we're doing this show. Patrick Bailey just looked at another third strike. They're 5.5 games out of the wild card. Buster has to make a move. Buster, you got this job because you're a winner, not because you have any type of experience doing it, because you're a winner. You got to put your foot down. I'm sorry. And I get it. It's a low-hanging fruit, but Pat the Bat's got to go because the Bats are not showing up for the Giants. So that's what's happening there, and it's just bizarre. They play at 12:45, so we'll keep you in the loop whether or not they get swept by the San Diego Padres. And when we return, I will tell you who that team is that I believe is still going to make a move before the offseason ends. Somebody has guessed on the text line, UPS Chris, it's the Raptors. That is not who I have in mind, but I'll tell you who I have in mind when we return. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Ooh, ma. What was that?
That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
Americans may not agree on much, but we agree on Social Security. We all pay in. It ought to be there when we need it. Social Security could face a funding gap in less than a decade, and I don't want to see a pay cut. I'm with AARP in the fight to protect the Social Security we earn.
Pledge to protect Social Security at aarp.org/weearnedit. That's aarp.org/weearnedit. Paid for by AARP.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Avriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Les Schwab Tire Centers and Bare Bones Workwear. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. I love spending a day on the golf course with invited friends, but not with uninvited mosquitoes, which can carry serious diseases like West Nile virus. Don't let mosquito bites ruin your round or your health. Stay safe while playing golf, hiking, or enjoying the outdoors with family. Defend yourself with insect repellent. For tips about your golf game, listen for Golf to Go. But for more tips on protecting yourself and your home from mosquitoes, visit fightthebite.net.
Hi, Sacramento. It's the No Surprise guys at Bell Brothers. AC acting up? Call Bell Brothers. Need a new system? Get $2,500 off, 0% financing, and no payments for 12 months and approved credit. Just need a tune-up? Get an $87 AC maintenance with same-day appointments. We're on time, quote up front, and fix it right. No surprises. Call Bell Brothers or book at thenosurpriseguys.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emron Plotty, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
916-339-1140, taking you up to 2 p.m. This is all I want, okay? And then we're going to get into it. Can we just, for a game, is this possible? Can we combine, and maybe, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask ChatGPT. if you combine the A's hitting lineup with the Giants rotation, what would their record have been this season? I'm going to do that during the next break.
All right. I like that idea.
Sometimes ChatGPT is a little delayed when it comes to sports updates. I think I looked up something about a month or so ago, and they mentioned something about Kevin Herter. So they're not always the most up to date. I don't know if they will have the trades that went through, but I need to find out some type of, if there's something better than ChatGPT, somebody help me out. I have to see a world where the Giants pitching rotation gets the A's lineup, and I'm just curious. You could put him in the NL West for fun.
Here,
put him in either one.
Give me about 2 minutes, and I'll have at least a bit of an answer for you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kyle. 916-339-1140. Jake Gaden joins us in 30 minutes, taking you up to 2 p.m. That's what we are going to do. And this is from Brett Siegel of Clutch Points. Siegel Scoops, a new edition, came out about halfway through the show yesterday. So we wanted to save it and take it all in, read it, digest it, and give you the information as we see fit. And the reality is the Heat continue to make absolutely no sense, right? But at the same time, there are still signals and whispers that a couple more moves are going to happen before this thing is all said and done. All right? That is what I took from this. So this is what Brett had to say. And this is fairly new information, maybe not in Miami, but this isn't stuff that got to the national landscape, to the Jake Fishers of the world. And I'm not saying Jake Fisher didn't know, but I didn't see this earlier this offseason. This is what, and maybe because it didn't get very far, because Miami is out of their mind. This is what Brett had to say. This offseason, the Miami Heat were willing to discuss trade scenarios involving Andrew Wiggins, and several teams expressed interest in the former NBA champion and all-star wing, sources said. The Milwaukee Bucks, league sources said, were one of the teams to inquire about Wiggins. While the Heat ultimately kept the former first overall pick, here we go, this is the fun part. They were willing to deal Wiggins if they received an instant impact player along with an upcoming first-round pick before 2028. Are you serious? Are you, just say you don't want to do anything, Pat Riley. Now, look, we had a lot of fun talking about whether or not the Warriors were operating in good faith. The Heat are not serious people. The Miami Heat, they are not a serious basketball team right now. An instant impact player and an upcoming first-round pick before 2028. The audacity of the Heat. Just don't pick up the phone, Pat. Just don't pick up the phone. Brett goes on to write, teams continue to monitor the Heat, specifically how they will handle Tyler Hero's upcoming extension window to get a better idea of what direction they are trending in. So I just revealed who that team is that I think is still gonna make a move based on what Giannis does or doesn't do, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks, right? So if you look at how much money Andrew Wiggins is making, that Bucks conversation, it probably didn't get very far because as Kyle illustrated, I think it was last week or a couple weeks ago, the Bucks literally have no first-round picks to trade. So Brett Siegel, and maybe this is why I didn't get to the national level, because it didn't get very far at all, because the Heat hung up the phone, since the Bucks have no first-round picks. They have no, not that they don't have any first-round picks, but they're all tied up, and you cannot trade consecutive first-round picks. So if you don't own your rights to 2027, you cannot trade 2028, and so on and so forth. So that is what happened apparently earlier this summer with the Miami Heat and the Milwaukee Bucks. And that tells me that the Milwaukee Bucks are still trying to do something. The problem is they have no picks and they don't really have a ton of young talent. But that's the team that I'm still trying to will as far as a team that could be interested in a DeMar DeRozan or Malik Monk. Now, the issue is when everybody is curious about what the Bucks could do, we know what the answer is, right? It's Kyle Kuzma. He's the $20 million contract that the Bucks probably offered to the Heat. And to be honest, look, I'm going to continue to say it. Two guys with terrible PR. Andrew Wiggins kind of fixes PR and not that much Miami Heat, but Andrew Wiggins kind of fixes PR with the championship run. Then he had everything go down with his personal life, and we don't really know when we will see that 2022 Andrew Wiggins again. And to be honest with you, if you're a betting person, I'd probably bet that you're not, right? But could you get 80% of 2022 Andrew Wiggins, something like that? On the other end, you have a Kyle Kuzma, who I saw, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Kevin O'Connor. I believe it was Kevin O'Connor who said, look, man, I know that Kyle Kuzma's value is down right now. There is something to be said about going from having no expectations to going straight to the Bucks situation and everything that came with that. Most of us believe Kyle Kuzma to be a much better player than what we saw. And the Bucks are essentially saying, look, we know his value is depressed, but let's try to make something happen. Because that's what's funny about that trade in general. And again, Kyle Kuzma wasn't brought up by Brett Siegel, but money-wise, if you're looking at Andrew Wiggins, there's nobody else on the Bucks that can make that deal happen. They're actually fairly similar in who they're supposed to be. Wing guys that are good defenders that can stretch the floor, and you're not going to, I think, honestly, Kyle Kuzma is probably, before this season, viewed as more offensively gifted.
I think he shoots more.
Yes. But they both can shoot the three ball pretty well. Andrew Wiggins can shoot the three ball pretty well, but they're the same type of player. So I think that's the problem. The Bucks going to the Heat saying, hey, we kind of just want a better version of Kyle Kuzma. Now, the Heat are still out of their mind. I don't know what they're on, but they are out of their mind looking for an instant impact player and a first-round pick. The kicker that gets me is before 2028. That's what gets me. For Andrew Wiggins, you are not a serious organization.
Pat Riley is not taking your 2031 first-round picks anytime soon because Pat Riley is 82 years old.
That's also true. I mean, I guess that's also true.
Yeah, Pat Riley, the Heat have made it clear as long as Pat Riley has been in charge, we don't do rebuilds. Now, most of the time that works out well for them when they sign LeBron James and Chris Bosh in free agency, but sometimes it also leads to them giving Hassan Whiteside and Dion Waiters $168 million.
Right.
So you take the good with the bad, and right now it seems like they're closer to the Hassan Whiteside and Dion Waiters than they are to the get Jimmy Butler for Josh Richardson and sign LeBron James and Chris Bosh in free agency territory, right? I think you take the good with the bad, but I understand why Heat fans look at it and say, kind of like the Kings, just take your lumps. Let's go to the bottom. Let's see if we can do a full-scale rebuild.
I'm looking here. Yeah, just as far as the numbers, there's nobody else. It's Giannis making 54, and obviously they're bringing on Miles Turner, but they're not going to they're clearly not going to move Miles Turner. So it would have had to have been Kyle Kuzma, and like I said, they don't have a pick.
No. And I understand why they would ask for a pick if they were getting Kyle Kuzma for Andrew Wiggins. I know, like you said, they're probably supposed to be the same type of player, and I know Andrew Wiggins' value isn't exactly the highest right now, but Kyle Kuzma's value is in the toilet at this point.
And I think the Bucks probably could have taken the money on because they're not paying anyone they're not paying anyone outside of their big guy. You're obviously Miles Turner, Giannis, and Kuzma, but everyone else, you go on Spot Track and nobody pops up. I mean, they brought back Bobby Portis, but it's a bunch of random one-year deals because they're just trying to survive and say, Giannis, please don't leave. But as far as the comparisons of those two contracts, Andrew Wiggins makes $6 million more than Kyle Kuzma this season. So they don't make the same. Andrew Wiggins is closer to 30, right? And then next season, he'll make 30. So, and it's a player option that he will take. So, I mean, I think the Miami Heat they're on one, personally.
I mean, I understand wanting to get a pick, though. I mean, maybe you have to take a couple seconds, but I guess Pat Riley's just big on Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah. Well, then don't have the conversations.
Also, before we go to break, if I did it by war.
We'll do it on the other side.
Okay.
We'll do it on the other side.
It's not going to be as fun as you think.
No, it has to be. And I don't like the whole war and all these stats. You know, I'm looking up all these stats yesterday because, yes, I am the newest host for Locked On Giants. If you want real in-depth, you really letting me get in the weeds here. For the Giants,
Instead
go check
of
out.
just yelling fire Pat Burrell.
Exactly. Go check out Locked On Giants. New episodes every single day, Monday through Friday. But Kyle, I'm looking up these stats, and I'll tell you on the other side. I've never heard of this stuff, Kyle. I've never heard. It's hard for me to find average. It's all this stuff I've never heard of,
well,
Kyle.
Don't worry. Average is worthless.
All right. On the other side, Kyle gives us that breakdown on this Frankenstein I-80 team that we are cooking up. Also, Cam Thomas, I need his agent. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, a Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the Make This the Summer sales events?
Now is the time to enjoy all California has to offer, and what better way than a brand new 2025 Jeep Wrangler? And right now you can save up to $10,000 off MSRP. Don't miss your chance to save on one of America's best-selling SUVs.
And what is this I hear about 50 vehicles under $20,000?
Yes, at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter, we have nearly 200 vehicles in stock, including Hemis, diesels, heavy duties, 4x4s, and 50 under $20,000. So whatever you're looking for, you can find it at Hoblet. We're a fifth-generation family dealer, and when you buy from Hoblet, you're treated like family because you become family. Don't miss our award-winning customer service and some of the best prices you will find on the truck of your dreams.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. 10,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon X after 5,000 factory rebates and 5,000 dealer discounts. 3 at this net savings. Sample VIN 622-117. See dealer for details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Around here, the summer can smack you silly, especially if your AC is not functioning at a high level. Whitey Gleason here. I had the opposite problem over the winter. System went down. It was panic time, but Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating saved the day. Let them save you from unnecessary summer misery. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, reliable, trustworthy. They do great work. They won awards for their service. Check the reviews at leesair.com. Find out about their $99 HVAC tune-up service. Save your summer now. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating on the web at leesair.com. License number 635355.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
High Voltage Live boxing action returns to the venue on September 6th as Uppercut Promotions presents 6 big fights featuring undefeated fighters. Thunder Showdown September 6th at the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Tickets at Ticketmaster. Fight cards subject to change.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
on Sacktown Sports.
Somebody told me, or somebody saying on the text line, 916-339-1140, we were trying to create a Frankenstein lineup, and Kyle has done that in his nerdy way. But I said, can't we just ask ChatGPT? And I said, hey, ChatGPT kind of stinks when it comes to sports stuff. Somebody said when you ask them anything, you have to say as of today and the date. So we will try that. Thank you to the 916-209 also agrees. ChatGPT sucks when talking about sports, very delayed on the roster update. So we will try that during the show as well to see if we can create this Frankenstein team. But Kyle says it would not be as sexy as we think combining the Giants pitching rotation and the A's hitting lineup.
I mean, Allen, you just want the robots to solve everything for you. AI to do it. What happened to some good old fashioned number crunching? What happened to some good old thought using your brain?
I don't have time for that. Yeah.
Okay, so I went to just wins above replacement. That's kind of the universal baseball stat for value. Wins, if you combine the wins above replacement for the A's offense and the wins above replacement for the Giants pitching staff, they would be 8th in the National League and 7th in the American League. But good news, if we took our Frankenstein team of San Francisco Giants pitchers and Athletics of Sacramento that are also in Las Vegas, but not Oakland, of Anaheim, if we took the Giants pitchers and the A's batters, put them on a team together, and then put that team in the American League Central, they would be in first place right now.
Only the American League Central.
Only in the American League Central would they be in first place.
Well, what would they be in the AL West or NL West?
In the AL West, they would be behind the Texas Rangers, so fourth place. In the
AL West?
In the AL West, yes. They would be just behind the Texas Rangers. So them and the Rangers would be fighting for third. In the National League, they would be about 2 games behind the Diamondbacks. Because the Diamondbacks have a higher WAR than the Giants.
It's WAR. So you're telling me they'd be worse?
No, I'm saying the Giants are overachieving this year based on based on their WAR. The Giants are dramatically overachieving based on what they should be.
This WAR stuff.
Yeah,
well, that wasn't as fun as I thought.
That's what I'm saying. So our Frankenstein team in the American League Central is better than the Tigers, which also made me realize the Tigers are only in first place because they're just eating up on all the bad teams in their division.
I'm going to cook up something later. That would be more fun than what Kyle did.
You know, they would be just behind the Texas Rangers for the 6th playoff spot in the American League right now.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, Kyle. I guess if you want something done, I guess if you want to feed your narrative, you got to do it yourself these days.
No, you know what this exercise made me realize? The Giants should be way worse than their record says.
So keep Bob Melvin. Kyle Ledbetter says keep Bob Melvin. That's what he says.
Yes. Bob Melvin is such a nice man, and I only want nice. No, I'm not even saying keep Bob Melvin. I'm saying do whatever Bob Melvin wants. If Bob Melvin wants to stay, he can stay.
916-339-1140. I'm not sure whether or not Cam Thomas wants to stay in Brooklyn, but he does want segue strikes again. I'm on a roll. He does want his money. This is look, we talked about the Heat kind of tripping. Is Cam Thomas tripping as well? This is from Nets Daily. Cam Thomas reportedly wants nearly $40 million a year, believing he deserves as much as Jalen Green, Emmanuel Quickley, and Tyler Hero. Here's the quote from Nets Daily. That was a kind of a summary from NBA Central. Here's the quote from Nets Daily. One league source told Nets Daily where Thomas sees his market, using comparable players around the league. Jalen Green making $33 million per year when he has a $36 million player option. Emmanuel Quickley making $32.5 million over the next 4 years. Tyler Hero averaging $32 million over the next 2 years. That's where he sees his market, if not higher, said the source. This suggests Thomas is searching for an annual salary starting at $30 million, likely closer to $40 million. All right, well, Nets Daily, that's not what he said. He said he wants to be in the market of those other guys at 32, 33. But the $40 million, that's not going to happen, right? That's obviously not going to happen, because if you're worth $40 million, somebody would have tried to come get you during restricted free agency. If somebody thinks that's where your value is at. That's how I see it with Cam Thomas. The other thing is, unfortunately for Cam Thomas, he's using some bad contracts as his arguing point, right? You can't use bad contracts to argue your point. A lot of people think that Jalen Green is probably making too much, or he is not worth that yet. A lot of people think Emmanuel Quickley is making way too much. So I'm not really sure. Again, I made the joke yesterday. If you are using Deshaun, if you are a quarterback, and if you're Brock Purdy when he was trying to get paid, or anybody saying, well, look at the guaranteed money that Deshaun Watson got, that don't count. That's a bad deal. Teams aren't in the business of doing bad deals. So you can't use a deal that is not the norm. And maybe it was the norm at the time with the Emmanuel Quickleys and the Jalen Greens, but the price tag has changed, Cam Thomas. And not only has the price tag changed, the game has changed. You are not a 6'8", 3-and-D, fast twitch, quick twitch defender. That's who's getting paid now. You are what does he go, 6'3"? Does he get to 6'4"? Probably a 6'4" shooting guard that has just chucked on a bad team for the last 2 years. You are a Jordan Clarkson, Malik Monk variant.
6'4", which is too tall for Monty McNair.
Yeah, so it's close. Cut your hair, and you can be a Clipper. You are a two-guard variant. You are an Anthony Simons. And again, Anthony Simons got his money, but Anthony Simons is not getting $30 million if I'm not mistaken. And they didn't want to pay Anthony Simons. The Blazers said, we're cool off Anthony Simons at this point, and now he's making $25 million. That's where you're probably at, Cam Thomas. And the Celtics, they don't even want to. This is last year on his deal. He's making 27.6, and Anthony Simons is not getting $35 million on his new contract. I don't think so. No, these guys, these score first 6'5" and below shooting guards, y'all are not getting $35 million anymore. You better be lucky to get to 30. So I'm not hating on Cam Thomas, because you gotta put your best foot forward in conversations, but you can't have it getting out that you're looking for upwards of $40 million, because nobody is paying you that.
You got to be versatile in the modern day and age, but I guess if you're Cam Thomas, you look at it like, I scored 24 points per game last year. What do you mean I can't be a number 1 or number 2 scoring option? And yeah, we all know Brooklyn was awful.
Do these agents, they probably, look, I always wondered, hey, what if I became an agent? You got to go to school, you got to do all that. But these agents, they got to be pulling out their hair a lot of these times, right? They're getting paid and they want the most money, but there's no way Cam Thomas's agent says, I think you get $40 million. There's no way.
It would be bad advice if he was giving it to him.
We know Kuminga's getting bad advice. So maybe these agents, maybe we still got a shot. Maybe I'm just going to become an agent, because what is happening?
Yeah, whatever. You're going to be the next version of whatever that guy was that was giving Ace Bailey advice during the draft.
Like, what is going on? So, but to be fair, the way Nets Daily wrote it, and this suggests, and this is what they do now, not just them, everyone. This suggests Thomas is searching for an annual salary starting at $30 million, likely closer to $40 million. That does not suggest that to me. So I'm just going to ignore that $40 million part. I think Cam Thomas is basically starting at 30, and maybe he could get to 35, right? And he's not going to get that, by the way. He's not going to get that.
He's going to get a qualifying offer, but get ready to speak qualifying offer.
Okay, after Anthony Simons is done, because there's all these two guards, the Malik Monks. By the way, Malik Monk is getting $18 a year, and whether or not he saved some, even if he saved some money, even if there was more money out there, we didn't even hear about any $25 million. They're younger, but if you were to put them in order, Anthony Simons, Cam Thomas, and Malik Monk, what order are you putting them in?
That is a great question.
I want to put Malik first.
See, this is tough though, because I watched Cam Thomas only when he beat the Kings last year in Golden One Center when Jordy Fernandez was coaching. So I don't really have a great gauge on Cam Thomas's actual value. So I guess I'll go Monk, Simons, Thomas. But again, I haven't watched very much Cam Thomas.
And either way, Monk is getting 18 a year, right? A hometown discount or not. We know he didn't leave. He did not leave 25 mil a year on the table. So, and the Emmanuel Quickly thing, he is a point guard. And again, a lot of people think he's overpaid.
Well,
Cam.
And Simon's making 25, I think, is in part, though. At the time, he was 22 years old.
Yeah.
And the Blazers thought he was going to be something else.
And he only got 25, and I think he's probably going to get something similar on his new deal.
Oh, I think his new deal will be what Malik has.
It's hilarious to me, again, and I don't know if these agents are pushing it or just saying, look, you're going to do what you want to do, that Cam Thomas is running around confirming these contracts that are bad, saying, I deserve one of these bad contracts. No, they're not trying to give out these bad contracts. And Kuminga be doing the same thing. When we return, Jake Gaden of CBS joins us to break down what's going on with the Sacramento Kings. Does he think the Kings should tank? What happened with Malik Monk? His thoughts on what has turned out to be a very interesting season with the A's. And what's going on with the Causeway Classic? Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
Everybody knows that Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is the spot to get yourself a brand new car. That's why people are coming from all over. Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville. But they also have the best selection of pre-owned vehicles. All makes and models, every one of them top quality, hand-selected by General Manager Chuck Dean. Over 70 vehicles below $30,000, over 25 below $20,000. You can see that full lineup at SacSuperstore.com. And if you find a lower price somewhere else, they'll match it. And on top of that, the best car buying experience anywhere. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, inviting you to come join them every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. It's a safe and friendly environment, plenty of well-lit parking available, and it's conveniently located right there in downtown Sacramento. And remember, best food, best service, best games, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity, introducing the 5-year price guarantee. One internet price, 5 years guaranteed. Well, the A's have played better than 500 baseball since the end of June, and one reason, improved starting pitching. And now that Luis Severino is on the IL, rookies comprise 4/5 of that rotation, including 22-year-old Luis Morales, a consensus top 5 prospect in the A's organization.
Welcome to Dugout Radio, the undisputed home of Boomtown Baseball.
The Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity, baby. Our next caller is Stacy. How do you stay locked in on every pitch and play?
We stream it all live on Xfinity Internet with low lag, 99.99% network reliability, and speeds faster than a base runner beating the throw to home plate.
I stream on my TV, tablets, even my smart fridge. Smart fridge.
With all those games, we gotta refuel.
Stream live baseball with Wi-Fi built for the biggest moments. Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local.
It's Allen Stiles
On Sacktown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m., we are joined by the one, the only, Jake Gaden of CBS 13. Jake, Thank you so much for joining us, my guy.
Alan, how are you, my guy? How are you?
I'm good. I do have to say something before we get started here, Jake, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we have to double check the tape. But the last time we were on a show together, we were in front of Golden One Center, and I believe we were having a discussion and or debate about whether or not the Kings would be the 5 seed, the 6 seed, or the 7 seed. We had the conversation, Jake, and after that, they free fall to the 9 seed. So we're going to have to maybe be a little bit more realistic moving forward here, my guy.
That was bad. That was bad with a capital B-A-D, okay? Bad.
But, you know, we were trying. We tried, Jake.
We were grasping at straws, okay?
That's right. Talking to Jake Gaden of CBS 13. Jake, let's start here. All right, out with the old, in with the new. Where are you at with what the Kings have done so far this offseason?
What offseason? What have they done this offseason? You talking Dennis Schroeder? You talking about picking their two picks? You know, there's not much has happened this offseason, Alan. Let's be real. Let's call a spade a spade. But there was not many moves that could be made. I think Scott Perry got given an unhealthy hand, and he's doing the best thing he can with it right now. A lot of contracts on the books that you really can't do anything about. So because of it, you're kind of stuck with where you're at. You know, Jonathan Kuminga, that the whole trade that we've been watching for the past, I don't know, feels like an eternity, but it's only been like 2 months. I think it's been very interesting to see. And what that transpires, I think if that trade is made, a lot of things will have a domino effect with it. But right now, when you look at what's going on with the Kings, they added a point guard. They added a stretch 3-4 in Neat Clifford. They added another stretch 4-5 in Maxime Renaud. But this team is just running it back. And I'm more intrigued less about what they're doing this offseason and what Doug is cooking up right now as an offensive playbook for this team. Because I got no idea how it's going to work and who's going to take what shots and how this all looks here in a couple months.
Yeah, I mean, you have Scott Perry during NBA Summer League where he's doing these interviews and he says if you dribble the air out of the basketball, it's going to be easier to defend. And we're all thinking, well, that's at times that can be what DeMar DeRozan does. Is there a world where this team evolves even without a lot of moves being made? I do think Dennis Schroeder is going to help. But that's a great call, Jake. And, you know, as we get closer here, if they don't make another move, what is the new offensive? We know Doug Christie is a defensive guy with Woodson on the coaching staff with Bobby Jackson. What does this offense start to look like? What is their new identity? Last season, you know, interim situation kind of was the Mike Brown offense. You didn't see too many tweaks. So that's a great call, Jake. Talking to Jake Gaden of CBS 13. Jake, where are you as far as what you wanted the Kings to do? Now, in our business, it's never necessarily good for a team to tank, but were you in the camp of, we'll call it developing young talent, or were you initially, or are you okay with the idea that you're going to continue to attempt to contend with the contracts that the Kings have?
I think it's a little bit of both. You can do both at the same time. I think that's the problem. Everyone wants to go one pendulum side or the other. You can do both at the same time. You know, the Kings have a lot of great talent, individual talent on the team, but making that talent coming together is what the question is, right? So I think if you were asking if I was in the GM shoes, what I would have looked at, well, I would have looked at what the value was for Malik Monk and DeMar DeRozan, which is what I think Scott Perry has done this offseason. I think you also look what the value was for Domantas Sabonis and see, hey, do we want to build around this guy? I thought they were going to possibly move off of DeMar and go in a different direction with him just because he wants to win now. But they do need a veteran presence in there. I wouldn't have been surprised if Domantas Sabonis was moved this offseason, specifically with how frustrated he was at the end of last year. But now he seems like to be the focal point of the organization, even though when I asked him about it over the weekend at his kids camp, he kind of rebuffed back and said, hey, you know, I don't really care. At the end of the day, I just want to win.
Right.
I think Zach LaVine, because of the contract, it's hard to move this year. I think you look at it next year. I was surprised, of course, about not extending Keon and making him going into restricted free agency with him. Instead, he's gonna be an unrestricted free agent next year, and we'll see how that kind of works out between both those camps. And they have a lot of money on the books. I'm surprised they did not move off of DeMar. That's probably the biggest one. But hey, they could always do it at the trade deadline. They don't have to do it during the offseason. I think Scott wants to see what he has. Going to see what he has hopefully within the first 2 months, 3 months of the season, and then make some moves. After that, and he's done it before. Like he did it with the Knicks. Look at the Knicks track record when he took over. He's done this before in terms of flipping rosters and making not only great draft picks, but also bringing in guys that are bought into the program. I think you're going to learn a lot about this team over the first 2 months, not just as a fan, but as the general manager in Scott Perry.
Were you surprised as to how things turned out with Malik Monk and how quickly he was kind of put on the trade block? I joked that I was with Chris Watkins when free agency opened up. We were grabbing some lunch after the show, and everything escalated so quickly. It was a Dennis Schroeder sign and trade, and based on everything that you just said, he was the most movable contract. But, and we had people saying, the media, I'm sure there were people in your mentions, Jake, the Kings told the media to tell everyone that Malik Monk has no value and they have to move him. Look, obviously that didn't happen, but I was a bit surprised, to your point, that they almost prioritized moving Malik Monk instead of moving DeMar DeRozan. And I think Malik still has a decent amount of value in this league. But from pizza guy to possibly traded, that happened pretty quickly.
Yeah, but also you got to look at it in the flip side of things, okay? They gave Malik the keys to the car after that De'Aaron trade, and look where it led them, right? He's also hasn't been available at the end of the season the past 2 years when it's counted. So you put that in perspective and account for everything. Malik is a fan favorite. I love covering Malik. I love being around him. His aura, his swag is phenomenal. The way he plays, especially in the pick and roll offense with Sabonis, is like chef's kiss. But when he was given the point guard position, when he was moved in the starting lineup, things did not go to plan as what he thought he was. And I think that's where the rubber is meeting the road right now when it comes to these Malik Monk talks. He is the most ultimate six man that you can have on a team. He's not a starting caliber point guard. He could be possibly a starting shooting guard for an elite team. But he is not the starting point guard for the Sacramento Kings moving forward. He's a guy that's an energy guy off the bench, doesn't play great defense, can cook when he needs to, especially in games where guys are out. But his value is changed. It's not gone up or down. It's just changed of what he's actually able to do on a night in, night out basis. We have a better idea of what that looks like moving forward.
Talking to Jake Gaden of CBS 13. Be sure to check out everything he's got going on at CBS 13. All right, Jake, let's transition a little bit here to another very polarizing subject. The A's that play in Sacramento but are not the Sacramento A's that are going to Vegas, we think, formerly of Oakland. Give me your thoughts, Jake, on how this whole thing is played out. There are people, from my perspective, being from the Bay Area, the Sacramento versus Oakland thing was very just awkward for me. It kind of cooled off, but as of late against the Rays, who also play in a minor league ballpark, some things have come up about the attendance and, just kind of reporting on the low attendance. There were conversations when they had high attendance. Where are you at with the first year of the A's? Is it what you expected, better than what you expected, or worse than what you expected?
Exactly where I expected. Exactly. I expected to have a lot more.
Oh, no. Did we lose Jake? Okay. I'll try to hold on here. Man, I wanted that answer too. All right. We're going to give Jake a sec as we were getting his answer on the AL, on the athletics stuff. But yeah, what he had already said, as far
My bad.
as
You got me? You got me?
Jake, we good?
You got me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. I got you now.
My bad.
No. You're all good. Just real quick. Your take on the A's. You had said it was exactly what you had expected.
No, exactly. I think the attendance numbers is exactly where I thought it would be. It'd be more away fans than home fans playing attending games in Sacramento. I know as a Yankee fan, a diehard Yankee fan, I was there for all 3 games when the Yankees were in town. I know for other fans of other baseball teams, it's the same thing. Again, we got to remember this is a major league team playing in a AAA ballpark. You also got to look at the attendance numbers for the past 3 years when they were in Oakland. I understand that they had a sell the team and a reverse boycott and everything like that, but the attendance numbers even before that weren't great. Look at 2022 and the attendance numbers from that year at the Coliseum to this year right now. They're pulling better numbers at over at Sutter Health Park on a night in night out basis. So in terms of the actual engagement of what the team is going to feel like and how they've been in the community and what they're doing in Sacramento, it's up to par of what I was expecting for this team to do in their first year, and it's probably going to be the same in the next 2 years. It's not going to change much. I still think more away fans, fans of the away team are going to come in and watch the team to play. You're going to see less Oakland fans there. Unless somehow or another the A's turn this thing around and become a playoff team in the next 2 years in Sacramento, which would be a really fun thing to see. But I don't think that's happening anytime soon.
Do you, I guess, now that you've seen it happen and now that we've seen it happen, does it feel as if it was quote unquote worth it for Vivek Ranadive to make this decision? Because I'm just not sure. And again, getting to the playoffs, to your point, could change everything. There were some conversations about where those playoff games would be played. I think they'd probably be able to get Major League Baseball to sign off on playing at Sutter Health Park just based on how convenient it would be versus trying to have them play somewhere else and whatever nightmare it would be if they tried to play in Oakland. But now that it's actually happened, I don't know, Jake. I'm not sure that they're going to leave and Major League Baseball, whatever. And I told people just go out and enjoy the games. That's what I've said from day one. But I'm not sure that they're going to leave and Major League Baseball, when it's time to expand, as Vivek kind of said, and we still don't know if he was supposed to say that or not out loud, that Major League Baseball is going to sit there and say, oh, yeah, the A's in Sacramento, that was a complete success. Let's go ahead and give Sacramento the expansion team. I'm just not really sure it was worth it because I don't know if that's how the conversation's going to go.
I think it's worth it no matter what because you're going to take a risk no matter what on it, right? You'd rather try it and see if it succeeds or doesn't than not try it all, right? I'd rather be able to go in there and say, this is what it's going to look like. When you look at other expansion teams on the West Coast, like Portland is very interested in having an expansion team. Yeah. Salt Lake City, same exact thing. Both of those markets have not had successful Major League Baseball there because no one's gone there yet. They have minor league ballparks, and we don't know how great those minor league numbers are because it is minor league baseball. But the fact that they've actually been able to try it here and see what it looks like, I think does give Sacramento the leg up to possibly have baseball here. But you also got to look at it this way. You know, there's a lot of moving parts that needs to happen in Sacramento for baseball to permanently be in the capital city. And I'm not just talking about Vivek Ranadive. I'm talking about local leaders wanting it as well. They're going to have to build a new ballpark. They would have to, it wouldn't be at the Sutter Health Park location. It would have to be another location within Sacramento. And as we've seen right now with Republic FC, with Sac State and their stadium deals, even at the Golden One Center, those things do not happen overnight in Sacramento. Actually, quite contrary, they take forever in Sacramento because everyone drags their feet. Yeah. When you look at that compared to a Salt Lake City, that is a city that is ready to roll. They would roll out the red carpet for the MLB. That's where I sit there and say, okay, the MLB may be more willing to go to a Salt Lake City that would be more willing to pay tax dollars to put a stadium up and be a home for an MLB team, especially if it's an indoor stadium of high caliber. I don't know. I think Sacramento has not done a great job in its past with their stadium deals. It's taken forever to get off the ground, and those teams are already in our market. For a team that's trying to expand, or an organization or a league that's trying to expand, maybe they do it differently. Who knows? But right now, I don't have a lot of faith in them in baseball coming to Sacramento for that specific reason of building a new stadium and building a new ballpark, because I just don't know how long it would take for that to actually happen.
Yeah, and that's why I've always said, Jake, just enjoy the games. Just go out there and enjoy the games. One more for you, talking to Jake Gaden of CBS 13. Go check out all of his work at CBS 13. Check that out online. Check that out, obviously, on your TV tube as well. But, Jake, you brought up Sac State. I was talking to some people, Jake, and I saw the piece that you put out. Go check that out as well from Jake Gaden. What's going on with the Causeway Classic? UC Davis, Aggie up. They running from the grind. They running from the Causeway Classic. What's happening?
Okay, so it's a little bit of back and forth here, right? So let's put this into layman's terms and lay this all out.
All right.
Sacramento State is leaving the Big Sky after 2025. They're going to become an FCS independent. Originally, they wanted to become an FBS independent and move to the big boys. Of course, the NCAA declined that this past 2 months ago or a month ago. So they will be an FCS independent team with no specific affiliation, while the rest of their teams all go to the Big West, which is made up of basically a bunch of different California schools. So basketball, baseball, softball, whatever it may be. UC Davis is staying in the Big Sky. Now, with the UC Davis-Sac State rivalry, that was always going to be on rivalry week for the Big Sky schedule. That was always going to be the final week of the regular season. That's always how it's been. It's how they set up their schedule. Now that because Sac State is not going to be in the Big Sky, they have to play UC Davis as an independent or as a non-conference game.
Right.
The Aggies have all their non-conference games set up for all 2026, which includes playing at San Diego, at SMU, and at home against Stetson. Now, my argument was, well, cancel the Stetson game. Yes, you could do that, but apparently there's money tied to it. There's a contract already signed. So right now, 2026, there will be no Causeway Classic. And
wow.
Which is really sad to say, just because it just doesn't look like it will be able to fit on their schedule. 2027, could it return? I think both sides are very eager in trying to make that happen. And if I'm the athletic director at Sac State and Mark Orr, and I'm the athletic director at UC Davis over Rocco DeLuca, I would go to both of them and say, hey, guys, why don't you put like a 20-year agreement together where you guys play like Labor Day weekend, week 3 of the college football year as a non-conference opponent, and slate that in every year, which would be a great, local party here in Sacramento to play either at, Sac State at Hornet Stadium or play at UC Health Stadium over in Davis. So right now, 2027 could be the first year they play. Nothing is set in stone. So that's why I say the Causeway Classic's in jeopardy, fam. It's 71 years, Allen, 71st annual, and it's not going to happen next year. And it's just a shame that we didn't have the foresight to think this through. Sac State will say, well, we want to keep this thing going. We think it's a great thing. UC Davis will say, well, we didn't account for Sac State leaving the conference together. They're kind of pointing, it's the meme with the Spider-Man meme where everyone's pointing at everybody, right? I just hope that, cooler heads prevail. Everyone comes together and says, hey, starting in 2027 for the next foreseeable 2 decades, 3 decades, whatever it may be, Causeway Classic will be back, and we'll have it every single year as a non-conference opponent.
Wow. Man, that is brutal, because now that you say it, because I was talking to those on the Sac State side, now that you give me both sides of it, which is why we wanted to have you on, yeah, I mean, Sac State, they thought they had bigger fish to fry. And now, they were going to have to sacrifice it. So UC Davis, we don't know what you guys got going on. Now we got to cancel a game. And Stetson's thinking, well, hey, we already have this. Now we got to go find somebody else. Wow. Jake Gaden with the fire, as always. Jake, thank you so much for joining us. So it's cooked for 2020. It's done.
Not happening. It's not happening. It will not be on a schedule unless something drastically changes in the next 6 months. But
wow,
2026, just know this. When you go to the Causeway Classic this year, look around and just say, I hope this comes back.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the best rivalries on the West Coast in all of Northern California. Both teams are going to be really, really good this year. I think UC Davis is ranked in the top 10 in most FCS top 25 rankings. Sac State's in the top 16, top 15. It's going to be a great year of college football here in the capital region. It's sad that we don't know if it's going to continue like that moving forward.
Jake Gaden, thank you as always for joining us. Be sure to follow Jake Gaden on social media where you can get all of his stories and everything that he's breaking down for CBS 13. Also, check out his work on CBS 13, Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok. Jake is everywhere, so go find him. Thank you very much, Jake. We will have you on again soon. And next time, hey, let's just say the Kings are going to win the whole thing. If we're going to be wrong, let's just go for it.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Let's do one quick prediction. So for next time, okay?
Okay.
Jonathan Kuminga is playing for blank team next year.
Oh, why are you doing this to me? I'm going to get aggregated now. I think it's the Kings. I just don't think that the Warriors are willing to take the chance with the qualifying offer. And that's what I think.
I'm right there with you, buddy. It makes too much sense. Too much
great.
sense.
Now we jinx it, Jake.
It's done. All right, we cooked it up.
Jake Gaden, thank you so much for joining us. I'll text you, man. We'll talk soon.
Sounds good, my guy. Have a great day. Good night. Good night, everybody.
See ya. All right, that was Jake Gaden of CBS 13. I did not see when you're the interviewer, when they flip it on you, because Jake is also an interviewer, when it gets flipped on you, you don't know how to react. And I was not ready for that, Kyle.
You should have said either the Warriors or the Kings.
Nah, man.
And then you would have said Kings, and then we all would have been like, yeah.
You got to stand on business. Because I really don't think that to your point, they could let Kuminga walk. And, we made it, an hour and a half without bringing up the K word, Jonathan Kuminga. But it's the optics thing. It's Steph Curry at 36, whatever he is. I could be wrong, and who cares?
Yeah, that's a great point. It's not like this is going to get aggregated by full court press or whatever.
Right.
No.
Right.
Anything like that, which is all well and good, but I just want to point out, just so that everyone heard, those clout chasers over at Sac State are the reason why this Causeway Classic thing is going to fall apart. And I'm definitely not biased and did not graduate from UC Davis.
They're definitely more worried about their influencers and Shaq's music festivals, which sounded like a banger by the. Did I even tell you that when we went to the state fair for Ludacris, it was the same day?
Yeah, but it was at Heart Health Park, right?
I'm like, these kids, I'm thinking, are they dressed up for Ludacris? Then I hear, are you ready for Shaq Diesel? That's what Sac State's about right now. They're too cool for the Causeway Classic.
They're about Jaden Rashada, who's got 1 million Instagram followers.
Might not play it down.
And Mikey Williams, who has 3 million Instagram followers and might never play. And they're number one recruiting class or whatever they called it, even though all those players are going to transfer now that they aren't in FBS. So those clout chasers over at Sac State ruining the great rivalry of our region.
On the other side, we keep the conversation going, and we revealed that it was the Bucks, I believe, are still trying to do something. I'll tell you how that might work with the Sacramento Kings. Down south, Sacktown Sports.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal, you should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hey, this is Greg Pop-Up. Are you working through a major insurance claim? Sunpoint Public Adjusters can help. Sunpoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call Sunpoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. Sunpoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our Giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Honda Summer Event and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. See all our specials at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop. Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Averyana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Les Schwab Tire Centers and Bare Bones Workwear. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
Hey there, this is Dolly, coming to you straight from Nashville.
It's Stand Up to Cancer!
Join us Friday, August 15th for one night only and for one goal only, to beat cancer. So stand up with all of us and let's save lives together. If we join forces, we can end cancer forever. Tune in Friday, August 15th at 8, 7 Central on ABC, CBS, Fox, and NBC. For more ways to watch, visit standuptocancer.org/show.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. Try the TrackMan experience, the very best technology to fit your metalwoods and irons. The new cutting-edge putter fitting studio with its $30,000 worth of technology is ready for your fitting. Hagen Oaks will help you find the best putter for your game. Hagen Oaks offers more technology, more choices, and more service. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531, 808-2531 for more.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
That was great stuff from Jake Gaden. We need to have him on more. I'm going to text him right now. Kyle and I were just talking about it. He brings a great kind of local look into, especially when football season starts up. Jake is just so locked in on what's going on in the city, what's going on all levels, right? Not just the Kings and the pro level. So we need to have Jake on more often. I've decided. So we are going to make that happen. We have, by the way, when I get back from paternity leave, we got some heaters coming. There's some stuff I haven't even talked to Kyle about yet, but I got a text yesterday. We have some real heaters on the way once the season starts. People we've never had on the show before. I'm talking about Sacramento's own, really big in other spaces, other platforms. I'm talking about YouTube. I'm talking about Twitch. I'm talking about content creators that are also Kings fans. We are really expanding and hitting the ground running. So that month is going to go really quickly for me. I know that. And when we return, we're going to be full speed ahead towards the King season, but also all the other seasons. So we are coming up with a really, really full lineup for you. Remember back in the day when fall, and I guess it's still like that, but for those who still watch cable, but remember back, and I guess I don't know if YouTube TV is considered cable or not, but remember back in the day when fall was when everything popped off? When oh my goodness, all the fall premieres of shows and things like that. That's where we're headed towards when I return from that paternity leave. So we're really excited for that. And there's a lot that we are going to lay out for you when all of that happens. So great stuff from Jake Gaden. And it is time now for me to expand on what we talked about in the 10 o'clock hour with the Milwaukee Bucks, all right? So if you're just now joining us, if you were dropping your parrot off at daycare or dropping your kids off. I don't know. Is summer camp still going? I know school is around the corner and about to start back up. But if you missed what we had to talk about in the 1 o'clock hour, you can always check that out on the Sacktown Sports app, on the TuneIn app. You can rewind on YouTube as well. A lot of different ways to take in your Allen Stiles Show. But Brett Siegel, in his Siegel Scoops of Clutch Points, he reported that the Miami Heat and the Milwaukee Bucks had conversations regarding Andrew Wiggins. Now, as far as the Miami Heat are concerned, they're tripping. They wanted, Kyle didn't really think they were tripping, but I think they're tripping. They wanted a quote-unquote instant impact player along with a first-round pick, wait for it, before 2028. So that's what the Heat wanted. Yes, you did not hear me incorrectly, for Andrew Wiggins. So what we know about the Milwaukee Bucks is they don't have, all their picks are tied up. Specifically for the Heat, all their picks are tied up before 2028. So there's no way the Bucks could have got them that. But what that tells me as we move away from having the conversation about the Miami Heat is that the Milwaukee Bucks are still trying to do something. It's been a bit quiet as far as the rumors are concerned, but the Milwaukee Bucks are still trying to do something. They're still trying to convince Giannis, as Giannis has not fully said, I will be back with the Bucks, even though he's running out of time. They are trying to do one more thing, make one more move to convince Giannis to stay. And because of that, I still think there is a possible conversation to be had regarding the Milwaukee Bucks and other teams. Could be teams that we don't care about at all. Could be the Sacramento Kings. Because the Milwaukee Bucks have never stopped making calls, trying to figure out what's the last piece that we think can take this thing over the top and make Giannis feel really, really good about where we're at. And we can finally put this thing to bed, at least for this year. Bobby Portis, recently he said, why can't we win the whole thing? Our whole problem is just staying healthy. So there is a belief in that locker room, and it has to start within that locker room. Nobody else might think that right now, Bobby Portis, but as long as you do, that's all that matters. But the Milwaukee Bucks, it's reported they were talking to the Miami Heat. Miami Heat, I don't think really working in good faith. The Milwaukee Bucks are making calls. Whether or not they've made a call to the Sacramento Kings, probably not their first call, but they are making their way. They're going through the yellow pages, to date myself. They're going through the yellow pages, trying to see if there is a team willing to have a conversation and who they think could fit to take them over the top. So as we look at what the Milwaukee Bucks have to offer and what the Kings would have to offer, we already know it is no surprise that Malik Monk has been on the table. DeMar DeRozan, I think, is on the table, but does not seem to be on the table as much as Malik Monk, as it appears that the Kings really, really like what DeMar brings to the team at this point in time. But we could have a conversation about both of them. If you're the Milwaukee Bucks, this all comes back to the same player. And yes, it is the player that you probably don't want me to say. That player is Kyle Kuzma. But at $22.4 million this upcoming season, his contract would work with either DeMar DeRozan or Malik Monk. The Kings could make both of those things work. Now, we understand that Kyle Kuzma's value is in a bad spot right now. The problem is that the Bucks can't really fix that by adding on a pick. Maybe, and we were double checking as far as the first rounders are concerned. We know it can't be a first rounder. With the second rounders, they still don't really have much, right? They don't have their picks at all. So you take a look at some of their other young players, right? And a lot of them taken in the second round. How much do you believe that they could help? Are you interested in a Kyle Kuzma and Andre Jackson Jr., another 6'6" shooting guard? Kind of, to me, profiles very similarly to Nick Clifford, right? An Andre Jackson Jr. at 6'6", at 23 years old, second rounder. Tyler Smith at 6'11". Dude's only 20 years old. Second round type talent. It doesn't really profile as far as what Scott Perry has looked for, but you got to get younger at some point. So it is clear to me with this report that the Bucks reached out to the Miami Heat about Andrew Wiggins, mind you, so not a star per se, but somebody that they think is honestly just a better version of Kyle Kuzma. They do a lot of the same things. A better version of Kyle Kuzma. The Bucks are still looking to improve and solidify Giannis coming back next season. This thing still isn't done. So we know for a fact that the Bucks are making calls. Whether or not they made a call to the Kings yet, that's what I'm working on. That remains to be seen. But the Kings do have guys that could work as far as Kyle Kuzma is concerned. Does Kyle Kuzma profile as a guy that Scott Perry would like? We know that there was interest before, prior to Scott Perry being the GM with the Kings. His value is in the tube. As I'm saying this right now, I'm sure somebody is texting Kyle Kuzma is trash. And he was not very good last season. He was bad, okay? But he does profile as somebody that could help this Kings team. And when you're looking at the conversations of who's going to take the shots, are these shots all going to go to a 36-year-old DeMar DeRozan? Could you maybe get back an Andre Jackson Jr. or Tyler Smith, just some young talent to play with, right? Maybe, just maybe, that's something that the Kings would think about. Whether it's DeMar DeRozan or Malik Monk. Now, obviously, I think fans would rather it be DeMar DeRozan. I think the organization might rather it be Malik Monk. That's where this thing kind of differs. But the Bucks are the one team I feel pretty confident in saying that they are not done, because they don't know if Giannis is returning or not. It is getting close to closing time on the offseason. And that is where teams begin to get a bit frantic, right? That is where teams make decisions that could cost them positively or negatively. But this is around the time people start hitting that red button and they want to ensure that their franchise guy, just their king of the Bucks franchise, is going to return to them. So you never know what could happen. But that is how I feel about this report as far as the Bucks are concerned, right? To me, they're still looking for something, and they're going to be frantic in these last moments as they are not quite sure if Giannis is returning, and they're going to get desperate. They are going to get desperate. And you could even argue, no disrespect to Andrew Wiggins, that if you're talking about Andrew Wiggins in 2025, they've already hit a level of desperation. You can make that argument now. So I don't know how, I don't think reaching out to the Kings about different types of players, obviously, but I don't think reaching out to the Kings about DeMar DeRozan or Malik Monk is any more desperate than reaching out to the Heat about Andrew Wiggins. I don't think that's any different at all. And with Giannis, I know everybody's going to talk about the spacing, but Giannis, I've said that he likes to have that closer. That's what he had with Chris Middleton. That could be DeMar DeRozan. It's a wide open Eastern Conference with no Tatum and no Tyrese Halliburton. You are not going to convince me that reaching out about Andrew Wiggins makes that much more sense than reaching out to the Kings about DeMar DeRozan. Now, do the Kings want to do that deal? Because what? You have a Kyle Kuzma that you're going to have on the books for the next 2 years at over $20 million? Maybe they say no. Maybe they said no. But you're not going to convince me that the Bucks reaching out to Andrew Wiggins makes that much more sense or is in a different stratosphere than reaching out to the Kings about DeMar DeRozan. Let's discuss how that would look when we return. And trust me, I'm not trying to trade Malik Monk, but conversations have to be had. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Ready to elevate your everyday? Quince has the Luxe Staples Insider Swear By, minus the markup. From 100% European linen styles and 14-karat gold jewelry to gorgeous leather bags and elevated home finds, Quince has it all. And by partnering directly with top artisans and ethical factories, Quince delivers premium quality at half the cost of similar brands. Discover everyday luxury without the markup at Quince. Go to quince.com/style upgrade for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/style upgrade.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local, but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity, introducing the 5-year price guarantee. One internet price, 5 years guaranteed. Well, the A's have played better than 500 baseball since the end of June, and one reason, improved starting pitching. And now that Luis Severino is on the IL, rookies comprise 4/5 of that rotation, including 22-year-old Luis Morales, a consensus top 5 prospect in the A's organization.
Welcome to Dugout Radio, the undisputed home of Boomtown baseball.
The Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity, baby. Our next caller is Stacy. How do you stay locked in on every pitch and play?
We stream it all live on Xfinity Internet with low lag, 99.99% network reliability, and speeds faster than a base runner beating the throw to home plate.
I stream on my TV, tablets, even my smart fridge. Smart fridge.
With all those games, we gotta refuel.
Stream live baseball with Wi-Fi built for the biggest moments. Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Allen Stiles,
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
916 says DeRozan is better than Kuzma. That is from the 916. I don't necessarily disagree. What I would say is I think it would be better for Keegan Murray if Kyle Kuzma was on the team.
I don't know. Kyle Kuzma's a chucker.
I'm literally about to check.
We did this before. Kyle Kuzma's career low in shots per game is still higher than Keegan's career high in shots per game.
Okay. But again, this is a comparison to DeMar DeRozan. Now, it could be a comparison to DeMar DeRozan, or it could be a comparison to Malik Monk. Because here's the other part of it, right? And that's why I kind of tease it the way I did. I'm not trying to move on from Malik Monk, but all signs this offseason have pointed to the Kings wanting to move on from their guards. Okay? And I guess I don't think you would move on money-wise. We'd have to double check, but I don't think you would move on from Malik Monk, bring in Kyle Kuzma, and then also bring in Jonathan Kuminga. I don't think you would do. I mean, I guess you technically could.
If DeRozan goes to Milwaukee in this scenario, I'm sorry. So it's Monk would still be in the Kuminga trade, or are we saying it's
Well, I guess there's no world. Right. I guess it's been a little bit confusing from you're moving Malik Monk, right? Initially for Kuminga.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we just assumed that that's the handshake agreement that DeMar DeRozan would be gone for Terry Rozier. So in this situation, you can't really move Malik Monk for Kuzma.
Yes.
Because then you can't take on Kuminga.
Well, yeah. Who are you trading for Kuminga?
Exactly.
Just clicked in my head about 5 seconds ago. So the Warriors are
Are you going to say 3-team deal?
3-team deal, but remember, well, it could be 4-team deal now that I think about it. But remember, Warriors still have to move either Buddy Hield or Moses Moody to make this trade work.
I like where this is going already.
Reroute one of those guys to Milwaukee. Reroute Kuzma to Sacramento. We're going to have to pull out the trade machine to see if this one is going to work. But the idea is like Milwaukee gets in on the third team situation using Kyle Kuzma's salary to essentially add Buddy Hield or Moses Moody. Mm-hmm. And then Kuzma goes to Sacramento in some roundabout way. Again, we're going to have to pull out the trade machine to see how this thing would work.
So it would be Kuzma and Kuminga going to Sacramento.
Yes, but the Kings would have to send out something else, which is where probably that's DeRozan, and probably DeRozan is going to a salary dump situation, whether that's Utah for Nurkic going to the Bucks or something weird like that, or KJ Martin going to the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean the bottom line is I think the Bucks are still trying to do something. It doesn't have to be with the Kings, as this thing has been pretty quiet for a while, but the reports that the Bucks were trying to add on Andrew Wiggins means that they're not necessarily star hunting. They're just hunting to improve the team. That's pretty much it. And this could be a conversation that the Kings want to have with the Bucks, or the Kings have already had with the Bucks, but I don't see the Bucks going in as is to this season. I mean, that's why Bobby Portis was kind of getting roasted, because if you look at their roster, it's kind of nuts. It's pretty nuts. It's Giannis, Miles Turner, Kyle Kuzma. I think Bobby Portis has to start now. Okay? I didn't even say a point guard. I know Giannis has the ball a bunch, but is Ryan Rollins their starting point guard?
For the Bucks? No, it's what's his name? Kevin Porter Jr.
Well, I was gonna say they have him as a shooting guard. So Kevin Porter Jr. is your quote unquote point guard. Giannis has the ball a ton. So he's your point guard. And then after that, off the bench, you got Ryan Rollins, Gary Trent Jr., Gary Harris. Torian Prince is still kicking. Jericho Sims and AJ Green. Oh, I'm tripping. Cole Anthony. So Cole Anthony is their starting point guard.
Is he a starting point guard?
He's their starting point guard.
Yikes.
Is Dennis Schroeder a starting point guard?
Honestly, Cole Anthony's probably not as good as Dennis Schroeder. So Cole Anthony still might not start over Kevin Porter Jr., which is kind of crazy to say.
So that's the team to me. If they're making calls for Andrew Wiggins, that desperation meter is starting to crawl up. And the reality is the Bucks have probably been making calls all off season. They haven't been able to make it work, which means my guess is that if you're talking about who said no, well, we just brought up with this 4-team deal, it's possible the Kings said, no, thank you. We think we have a good shot at Kuminga. So we're not going to bring on Kyle Kuzma or anybody like that. That is what could happen. Could a 3-team deal or 4-team deal, could something pop off before the season starts and before the training camps get rolling? Who knows?
Oh, Allen, we've got a trade.
You figured out something?
I went to the dungeon and I got it.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right. So in this world that I just created 2 minutes ago, Sacramento Kings end up with Jonathan Kuminga and Kyle Kuzma. The Warriors end up with Malik Monk and the 2030 Kings first-round pick.
Okay.
The DeMar DeRozan ends up on the Utah Jazz, who will eventually get bought out, along with 2 Kings second-round picks. And going back to Milwaukee, we have Moses Moody, Kyle Anderson, and KJ Martin.
Wow.
I mean, if the Bucks could get Moody, Anderson, and Martin for Kuzma.
Right. The bottom line is they're looking for rotation players, right? And that, to me, what you just said, to be able to move off from Kyle Kuzma, that probably helps you more than Andrew Wiggins.
Oh, Milwaukee? Probably. I mean, I don't know if KJ Martin's going to play for them, so just look at the other two. Moody and Kyle Anderson, 2 rotation forwards versus Andrew Wiggins. Probably their starting 3, but again, you can slot maybe Anderson as the starter with Moody playing a whole bunch of minutes.
He's so good. He's so good.
Yeah, Milwaukee's got options is really what we're talking about here. Because in this scenario, they would have a lineup of Giannis, Miles Turner, Cole Anthony, Gary Trent Jr., and then they wouldn't have to have Torian Prince as their starting power or small forward.
916-339-1140 call line and text line. Also the Sack Chat. Where do you think who do you think triggers Kings fans the most? Because it might be Kyle Kuzma. It might be Kyle.
Who else would you like to nominate for this?
Lakers, the team.
Just Lakers in general.
Yes. We brought up the Lakers for 5 minutes yesterday, and I think we got a couple texts on that, and we had some fun with the texters. They were just joking us about it. But I think Kyle Kuzma enrages this team more than anyone. And you know what's funny? You know who else during the offseason kind of enraged the fan base when I brought them up? Dennis Schroeder. I remember doing shows 2 months ago, and we would go over point guards. People saying, Allen, stop talking about Dennis Schroeder. And here we are. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen with Kyle Kuzma, but give us a list. Let's just flip this on you, because I see the text. I see the Sack Chat as well. Give us a list of players or just things in general that trigger you.
Who would you hate us talking about more than Kyle Kuzma?
Is there anyone you want to nominate above Kyle Kuzma?
Jeremy Grant is not quite at Kyle Kuzma, but I feel like deserves an honorable mention.
Because there are also things that come and go, right? There are people out there that are kind of sick of the Kuminga talks. And look, I'm going to milk this thing out as much as I can. But Kuminga, he falls into a different category of the big story. Cam Johnson kind of falls into the category of the big story. Cam Johnson kind of wavered because there wasn't a lot of a lot of rumblings there. But give us the list, and we will read it off, all right? 916-339-1140, and also the SAC chat as well. Or call in, 916-339-1140. When we return, 12 o'clock hour, you know what we're talking about? Brett Siegel on the Giddy Kuminga rumors. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Time now for your Sacktown Sports 1140 49ers report. Brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, conveniently located beside the Vacaville outlets. The Niners lost their first preseason game to Denver 30-9 on Saturday night. Few of the starters played for Mike Shanahan's team. Mac Jones started at quarterback and drove the team down the field for a game-opening TV drive. However, that was all the offensive scoring for San Francisco. Next up for the Niners, they play in Vegas this Saturday afternoon. It's a 1 p.m. kickoff right here on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
Bing Maloney Golf Courses, 27 holes of high-flying public fun, and Bing Maloney's a classic design for golfers of all abilities. Bing Maloney's lighted driving range is a great place to learn and practice this summer under the covered hitting stations. The range also offers a practice putting green and outdoor furniture to relax with friends. Enjoy tasty beverages or comfort food from Maloney's Grill. The Association of Golf Merchandisers has named Bing Maloney a top 100 golf shop. For tee times, visit bingmaloney.com. It's Sacramento Golf's great value course.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Averyana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Les Schwab Tire Centers and Bare Bones Workwear. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal. You should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140.
Talk and so much more. Allen Stiles on Sacktown Sports.
12 o'clock. I got to be honest with you, man. Look, no free endorsements. But we are always looking if you want to endorse with us.
What you got, Rackman?
That's right. I need to stop by. But, we got baby number 2 on the way. and we're trying to be better with money as everybody is. Did you ever just get in a mood where I want to eat out, man?
Hey, now.
I want to not cook. I do not want my own cooked food tonight.
Well,
I don't.
Considering I just ate $15 brisket mac and cheese at the A's game yesterday, I do agree with you.
How was it, though?
Oh, it was fire.
I told you. Bridges. You go into Sutter Health furthest on the left. Brisket mac and cheese. If you're feeling froggy, get the garlic fries, put it on top of the garlic fries.
Oh, that would have been nasty work.
I did it before a game that I was working because I knew I would walk it off, and I did. Well, probably about 4 bites, but I walked off some of it.
Some of it. But then did you get home and...
Excuse me?
You were burping a little bit?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I got a strong setup.
Okay.
I got a strong setup. 916-339-1140.
Anyways, what was your point about this?
I just want some food tonight.
You just want food and not cooking.
Because I keep on waiting because my wife she's the one that's pregnant, and I keep waiting for her to just say, I don't feel like one of us cooking tonight and cleaning, but she's the one that's being responsible right now.
Well, that's the other thing. If you're waiting for her who, if you're making her cook, I mean, what's wrong with you?
No, I'm not. No.
But if you're waiting for her to do it, I mean, you're cooking for her all the time now. So why is she going to be like, you know what? I don't think we need to cook tonight.
Yeah. Once a week it'll happen. And I'm hoping tonight's the night where she says, I don't really feel like cooking. I don't really feel like the home cooked meal. Let's grab some food.
Maybe first of all, maybe you just say, how about we go get something tonight?
No, I can't do it because she said, hey, we're saving money. So I can't do it. It's like Inception again. I have to I'm just going to send her stuff on Instagram. So, hey, during breaks, I'm just sending her stuff on Instagram.
You're planting the idea.
That's right.
So your idea is by hoping that she is listening to the show right now, and by sending subliminal messaging, you will not have to cook dinner tonight.
That's right. That's right.
Genius strategy.
916-339-1140. As we have hit the 12 o'clock hour, halfway through the show. Jake Gaden joined us at 11. Go check that out. You can rewind on the YouTube. You can check that out on Sacktown Sports, the app, or on the TuneIn app as well. And that led us into a conversation about Kyle Kuzma and the Bucks, as Brett Siegel has reported that the Bucks, he didn't say Kyle Kuzma, but all you got to do is look at their contracts, and he's really the only person they could move for Andrew Wiggins, which is who the Bucks were interested in with the Miami Heat. So we said the words Kyle Kuzma, very similar to saying Beetlejuice. You only got to say Kyle Kuzma once. You don't even have to say Kyle Kuzma 3 times like Beetlejuice. And Kings fans, they get triggered a little bit, and that led us into a conversation of who triggers you the most as Kings fans, names that get brought up when we talk about them. Here are the other names besides Kyle Kuzma. Buddy Hield, only a couple so far. Buddy Hield is a name, and Ben Simmons. These are names that have been brought up as far as people that trigger Kings fans. Now, these are different conversations, though, because Buddy Hield is obviously no longer on the Kings. There's multiple types of triggering. There's this guy annoys me and I don't like him, and I don't think that's Kyle Kuzma. I think that is, we always talk about bringing on Kyle Kuzma. We didn't get Kyle Kuzma, and now he's worse at basketball. I don't want to talk about him anymore.
Sure.
So Buddy Hield, as I guess you should talk about, we could separate it and say potential Kings versus dudes that just annoy you, right? Because Buddy Hield is not in the same category to me as Kyle Kuzma, or I don't think John Collins ever got there. Some people would even put Kuminga there.
Cam Johnson.
Cam Johnson.
Although Cam Johnson would help this team. I'm just saying.
It's over. He's with the Nuggets now.
Yeah, I know. But Michael Porter Jr. still can go get him.
My goal is to get more players added to this list.
Okay. I think you're doing a good job, at least with Kuzma. Well, we'll see. Well, actually, you were carrying the Ben Simmons conversation for a while, too. The Ben Simmons water.
But that's all from Dave. That's not from me.
Yeah, But I guess that's true. You actually would be interested in Kyle Kuzma. You don't want Ben Simmons.
No. Well, yes. My thing with Kyle Kuzma is that we are always in the camp of grabbing a player after their best season, right? Everybody wants before the Malik Beasley, before the betting stuff, everybody was interested in Malik Beasley because he essentially had a career season. And we saw Kevin Huerter pretty much have a career season that first season with the Kings. Everybody always wants to make moves for guys, even in other sports. The Aaron Judges of the world. You have these contract seasons, these crazy seasons. Everybody wants to grab that guy. How about you grab a guy after their worst season because they have to regress or progress back to the mean. That's my Kyle Kuzma argument. He can't be worse.
Sure, but your argument is also buy low when he costs $20 million for the next 2 seasons. It's going to be expensive bet. It's not like the second draft thing.
Yes.
This is you're paying for an expensive backup.
I would firmly be in the Kyle Kuzma for DeRozan or even Malik Monk camp if the Bucks had anything. Right? If they had anything to give.
Any draft pick.
They don't have a first or a second. They don't have anything.
Yeah, they have literally nothing to offer.
So even if it was 2 seconds, and like I said, the Andre Jacksons of the world, I don't know that I would be willing to do that. To the point of one of the texters that said, let's just keep DeRozan in that case. Honestly, I'm not against it. If they had something else, sure. But I will say, this isn't me, if you are the Kings and they really want another name that just popped up on this list from the 916, Westbrook is a name that they're tired of hearing about. If you really want, again, these are newer names though. If you really want a Westbrook, right, you could move Malik Monk for Kyle Kuzma and then bring in Westbrook because you would have moved off of one of your guards.
I mean, you can say newer names, but the Kings and Kuzma have been linked for 5 years now.
I'm talking about Westbrook. I'm talking about Westbrook being a newer name.
Yeah. Nobody's going to top. Nobody is going to top Kyle Kuzma in terms of just the longevity.
No, there's nobody.
Honestly, at this point, if he's not a King at some point in his career, I'm going to be disappointed because I was at the Sac Airport not when I met Devin Carter, but when Kyle Kuzma got traded to the Kings originally for Buddy Hield, and then I went on a plane, and by the time I got off the plane, he was a Washington Wizard. Like, I so desperately want Kuzma to be here at some point in his career just to close that loop of so many wasted hours of thinking about Kyle Kuzma on the Sacramento Kings. I'm not saying it has to be right now, but it's got to happen at some point.
You're not alone. You're not alone. So that's the list from the past, kind of still the present, to the possible future. Brett Siegel has some updates, okay, on the Giddey and Kuminga rumors, and this is what he had to say in his Siegel Scoops article. Although interest from other teams may exist, the Warriors are not actively pursuing Giddey this offseason. Team sources from both organizations confirmed. There was a conversation that came up last week about, hey, why don't we just flip-flop with the restricted free agents that neither of us want. But Brett Siegel says he is confirming that is not happening based on what he's hearing. He goes on to write, the Bulls have not held sign and trade talks with the Warriors regarding Giddey and Kuminga, a scenario that would be very difficult for both to solve financially. Aside from salary rules and restraints coming in to play with a double sign and trade, this hypothetical scenario would also hard cap the Warriors. This would be a problem considering Golden State has made it clear they want to maintain financial flexibility. Both teams, more so the Warriors, would need to attach extra salary to a deal involving Giddey and Kuminga, which is why it's way too messy to even consider. The two teams have held conversations with one another this offseason, but talks around the start of free agency were more centered around Kuminga and potential interest Chicago held, sources said. At no point did the Bulls signal that Giddey was available, nor did the Warriors try to put together a package for him. Yeah, that was initially what was supposed to be the plan for Kuminga to the Bulls. It was, no, we're going to add him to the rest of our young core because we're kind of stuck. And we didn't run Tankathon yesterday, Kyle. We got to run that.
I know. I was actually going to remind you.
The Bulls do own their own pick this season, so it's not as if they have to bring in Kuminga because there's no other way for them to get young talent like the Suns. Maybe that's why they changed their mind on it, or they weren't too gung-ho on it. But yeah, that's where we thought this thing was going to go initially, and it ended up not going in that direction. All signs point to Josh Giddey returning to the Bulls. It's just a situation where the Bulls just don't care that Josh Giddey thought he was going to get more money because they don't have to pay Josh Giddey more money. Not right now. Not right now.
Well, at least they feel like dragging this out is ultimately the better play for them, which Siegel mentioned in the other part of the story that, like, if Giddey's asking for 30 and they're sitting at 20, maybe the compromise is 4 years, $100 million, 25 a year. Maybe there's like a club option on the back end or something like that. But it seems like all indications are Giddey is going to be the Bulls' starting point guard. It's more so a negotiation tactic. And if you're Chicago, I mean, at this point, you are assembling a young, they don't have a star, but you have assembled a young core at this point, right? Chicago, who has been in the play in the last 2 years, has accomplished what the Kings have failed to do in the last 2 years, despite being in the play-in for both of those years. And that is that they now have Matas and Asenge and Josh Giddey and sure, one more year of Kevin Huerter, and that'll ultimately be their starting unit for next year with either Vucevic or Jalen Smith or some stopgap. And they have the semblance of a young core, even if they are not anywhere near contention, because none of those players are actually any good.
Uh-oh, Kyle. We just need about half.
When it breaks,
right.
We have it first.
This is from Matt George.
When it breaks.
52 minutes ago, the Sacramento Kings group play schedule has released.
Oh, yeah.
All right. November 7th. That's literally, where's the Doug Christie sound? That's literally what you're going to do when you hear this. Friday, November 7th, they take on Oklahoma City. Friday, and that sound works for all of them. Friday, the 14th of November, they take on the Timberwolves. Wednesday, the 26th of November, they take on the Suns.
Ooh, another shooting guard off.
And Friday, they take on the Utah Jazz. No clue.
Yeah.
No clue.
Last year, didn't they go like 1-3 in the in-season tournament or something? I mean, it was awesome. The first year, we were looking at like point differentials and how they would clinch. And then Malik Monk hit that bank shot against the Warriors. The first year was awesome. And last year, we were just terrible and hurt during the in-season tournament. Also, no, I say national TV in air quotes because it's Amazon, but no national TV games during the in-season tournament for the Kings.
It's probably better that way. Okay.
Which, by the way, also I see this now. Did you know ESPN's doing triple headers this year? Like, we're gonna have basketball starting at like 2:00 in the afternoon now.
Great. And I don't know if I said this on the air yet. I said it to Whitey Gleason after the show yesterday. I am very much in the camp. I don't know. I'm weird when it comes to schedule watching. Right? I think schedule watching in football is a lot of fun. I'll go over the schedule for the Raiders and the Niners all day long, and I'll have a ton of fun with it because there's only 17 games. I really don't care about the schedule watching with basketball, and I dang sure don't care. Is there anybody out there? I'm sure there are. Schedule watching for baseball.
I think the first time I did it was last year, knowing the A's were going to be in Sacramento.
That is different.
No, for my Padres, of course, maybe I'll look and see who the first series is, who the 4th of July series is, and who the last series is. But other than that, or maybe when they play the Dodgers. But other than that, no.
I'm all in on saying that the Raiders are going to win 9 games, whatever it is. The Niners are going to win 11. I will go over the schedules time and time again and have a lot of fun. I'll do it on air. I'll do it off air. But I don't care about the NBA releasing. We know the Kings they're not getting Christmas. They're not getting MLK. They're not getting opening night. I'm on social media and people are breaking news. The Kings are going to return or Mike Brown's return. I guess we know he's coming back. We know. I don't need to know the date. Am I going to mark that down right now? We know he's coming back.
Mike Brown is a little crazy to be like, Mike is coming back to okay, that.
I don't care.
Like when Jordy came back for the first time, I was like, oh, cool. Jordy's back. I'm not going to be like, I can't wait for Mike Brown revenge. Yeah, the Knicks went to the conference finals last year. They're probably going to beat the Kings.
My whole thing is, what are we doing? Is somebody marking this on their calendar? Literally, De'Aaron Fox will be. I actually didn't see that one because he already returned.
It's March.
So De'Aaron Fox will return. I don't care.
March 17th.
916-339-1140. Do you care about these schedule leaks?
Oh, you better get ready, Alan, because tomorrow at 11 o'clock, we're getting all 82 games.
But that's even that. You're a couple days early, and they're all doing it. You know what? This is the new attendance that for me. What grinds my gears? The what are we doing? This is the new attendance photos.
What are we doing?
The attendance photos at A's games has been replaced because nobody wants to take pictures now besides Chris Biederman, who's standing on business. So I appreciate Chris Biederman.
The only one there.
He's the only one there. So we've moved on from that. Now it's, I broke this. I broke this story. I know when they're going to play this team that we all knew they were going to play at some point. But I got the specific date. And I know I'm in the media, but I don't care.
You'll grasp at straws at almost anything else, but this is where you draw the line.
This is where I draw the line.
You draw the line at schedule leaks that may or may not be true.
Give me an indication that the Milwaukee Bucks may or may not have called a Western Conference team in Northern California. I will go for an hour on that.
Yes.
But I could not care less that so-and-so was able to get this. And I'll give you this. This is the one thing I'll say. The first game of the season, when Sean Cunningham had that, first game of the season and the home opener. Okay, I like that. Everything else, couldn't care less.
Okay, so first part, just since you brought it up, I have a fun theory that every time the A's games end, Chris Biederman has like a secret lair inside the shed underneath the Sutter Health Park. Like Chris Biederman just lives at Sutter Health Park, and we only see him emerge for A's games at this point.
Well, they better be whining and dining Chris Biederman.
Biederman is out there. There's a few others that are out there every night, but Biederman, he is consistently out there. Second of all, to your point about the schedule release, the point last year that I remember like, oh, this is getting a little silly is when they did release the whole schedule and everyone was like, guys, the Kings are playing the Pelicans 3 times in 8 days. I mean, what a crazy coincidence. They went 0-6, and by the time we got there, every player on the Pelicans was hurt.
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox wasn't even on the team anymore, and Mike Brown had been fired.
I don't care because somebody on the chat, Stiles doesn't need no sinking schedule. He already predicted the Sacramento Kings going 13-7 first 20 games. That's right. By seconds 4. That's right.
So now we have to look it up. Do the Thunder qualify as one of the first 20 games? Because that means you've got one guaranteed loss.
No, you never know.
You never know. Remember last year they played him 3 times and lost
with no Jalen Williams.
Jalen Williams and lost by a combined 84 points.
Look, man, I'm telling you right now. They're going 13-7 at worst. At worst, okay?
So I don't know how the game breakdown is going to work, but it is unfortunate for you that Thunder and Timberwolves are first on the in-season tournament schedule, because I don't know if that second Jazz game is going to make it in the top 20, but I feel like
we can expand it if it's getting dicey.
If it's 13-7, but then they play the Jazz in game 22. You're going to be like, actually, I think it's going to be 15-7.
916 says, hey, Allen, the San Francisco Giants and Sacramento Kings are trash. I don't give a dang about their schedule because they're trash, so it don't matter. The Giants, for me, I mean, even if the Giants were good, it's just there's 100. Really? Oh, this is the first time they play the Dodgers. Cool. Then they play them 20 more times.
Well, at least now in baseball, they've evened that out a bit. It used to be you played 20 times.
Just tell me the Field of Dreams. Just tell me where the Field of Dreams is, and if it's a game that I care about. And the kid, you know what I like? I like what is it?
The Little League Classic.
The Little League Classic, where they have the bats that look like toys, and they all got their nicknames on the back of their jerseys, and they wear funny cleats. That's all I care about. And this is not just about the Kings. I don't care about any of the schedule
except
stuff.
football.
Except football. I don't care about anything.
Football, you're there saying the Raiders are going to go 8-9, baby.
I'll do college football. Give me Cal's schedule before I care about any NBA or MLB schedule release and who.
That would be a silly game. How far is Cal going to have to travel this season in the stoop? Oh my God, they have to go to Boston College in September. That's crazy. But yeah, to your point, I don't really think anyone is. I think it's good for content purposes because you can start like buying tickets. I think that's the other thing. If you want to go to a specific game, then you might buy a ticket for that.
Right. If you don't live in the area or whatever the case is, I personally wouldn't do that, regardless of whether I had a media pass or not, because I'd rather pay more and see what happens as far as the injuries are concerned. Because you buy them now, and it's so funny, even with the Kings. Who's the big star that you'd be? Who is the big star that you would say, dang it? Because that's the whole Malik Monk thing. I feel like when somebody from out of town pays to go to a Kings game, we're gonna fly out or wherever. If you were to give a list of rank who you want to be healthy the most, or who you for sure I want to see that guy play the most, Malik Monk is at the top of that list. He's number one.
That's really sad if it's true.
It's not Sabonis.
It's got to be DeRozan. There's just a handful of people who really love DeRozan.
Now you sign, I'm going to say his name, you sign Westbrook.
Oh, yeah.
That shoots up to the top of the. It's not beating, I almost said Kuminga. I'm just so used to saying it, right? It's not beating Malik Monk, but he's number two.
Oh, no, I disagree.
It's beating Malik Monk.
If we had the idea that this was going to be Westbrook's last season, then I think the Brody people from Japan and China
they're going to come find me.
They are going to find you one way or another. They're going to get you. But remember that guy that like flew in 3,000 miles to see Westbrook? That guy will be at Golden One Center if this is going to be Westbrook's last season. Dudes from Australia and South America are going to fly into Sacramento, but I don't feel like, you could do that against anyone. I don't feel like that's a specific, like, I have to go to this game. It's just like, when are they playing in Sacramento? See, this is interesting. You draw the line at schedule release, but when it comes to running a tankathon on August 13th.
Wow, Kyle, hit yourself with the Senior segue. Good job. Senior segue strikes again. All right, we got to run it twice. This is the first one. Since we forgot yesterday. What is up with the end of every time we hit Wednesday with the 9th pick, the NBA draft, Sacramento Kings select some kid.
The lesser boozer.
Yeah.
But Allen, that wasn't for Wednesday. That was for Tuesday.
That was for Tuesday.
Still got one more shot.
All right. Well, it's never good when it's not above the ads. 9 again. This is why you have to do it on the same day, because I don't trust this randomness. This is why you got to do it on different days.
Well, we can now update and see how close we've gotten at this point.
I ran it again in their third.
Okay.
But it doesn't count.
Yeah, no, it doesn't count for today. So now we have 3 firsts, 1 second, 2 seconds, 1 third, 2 fourths, 10 ninths, and 1 tenth.
Not gonna fly. I need all 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think we're actually pretty close to the 26% right now. Chances of being there. We're getting a sample size together.
And that's why they're just evening this thing out. All right. When we return, the most likely thing to happen this offseason, the ringless get a ring in Harden, CP3, and Beal. The Kings make the playoffs. The Knicks don't get to the conference finals. And a couple others. Bring in your thoughts as well. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
With Progressive, you can reach customer service in the way that's easiest for you, by phone, app, or online. We know it would be great if we just magically appeared, but that's more of a genie thing, and we do insurance. But with us, you'd be like, well, it wasn't a genie, but it was great customer service, so that's nice. And sure, you probably would still like the whole 3 wishes thing, so if you meet a genie, you should definitely ask. But when you need us, contact Progressive by phone, app, or online. Just no genies. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Averyana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Les Schwab Tire Centers and Bare Bones Workwear. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
Hi, Sacramento. It's the No Surprise guys at Bell Brothers Plumbing. Need a water heater or plumbing repair? Call Bell Brothers. Clogged drain? We'll clear it for $67. Plus a free camera inspection, a $250 value. We're fast, on time, and the price we quote is the price you pay. No surprises. Plus, we'll check your plumbing for free. Call Bell Brothers or book at thenosurpriseguys.com.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kip Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kip Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sacktown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Top 100 teacher and PGA Master Professional Kelly Stenzel offers some short game rules in Golf Magazine. 1. Stay still while putting. 2. Lean into chips with weight slightly forward during the shot. 3. For less distance, use a shorter swing and narrower stance. 4. Hit the ground to get true launch. Make a divot to get the ball in the air. 5. To hit a great bunker shot, dig your feet into the sand. 6. Swing length controls natural speed. Swing and stroke should be relatively equal back and through in size and rhythm. 7. Pivot for pitches so the club head glides underneath the ball, launching it high with spin. 8. Write it down. Calibrate your short game and put it on paper. Having some basic guidelines and a plan for your short game can make a huge difference without having to always rely on feel. Look for the full story at golf.com. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, a Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the Make This the Summer sales event?
Right now, save up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Ram 1500 crew cabs. The Motor Trend 2025 Truck of the Year.
What about all those hard-to-find heavy duties?
Right now, save up to $11,000 off MSRP on the hard-to-find brand new 2025 Ram heavy duties. You won't find a better selection of new Rams in California, with over 400 new Rams available and more on the way.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. $15,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorns after $83.16 factory rebates and $66.84 dealer discounts. Rebates include 10% below MSRP. $2,000 Stellantis financial bonus cash. Must finance with Stellantis. $500 on the job upfit. Must show eligible upfit. $11,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 2500 Limited after $2,500 factory rebates and $8,500 dealer discount. Rebates include $500 on the job upfit. Must show eligible upfit. At least 5 of each net savings. Not everyone will qualify for all rebates. See dealer for details.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
on Sacktown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. And it is time to discuss what is most likely to happen this NBA season. Now, we've come up with a list. Kyle and I are going to debate what we think is most likely to happen this NBA season. Okay, so Kyle, the list that we have Harden, CP3, and Bradley Beal. Obviously, the
unction.
Yes, the unction in LA. They get a ring. The Kings make the playoffs. The Knicks don't get to the conference finals. The Magic do get to the conference finals. Spurs make the playoffs. Thunder go back-to-back for the first time since 2018. What is most likely to happen?
Well, I'll say this for the unction in Los Angeles is that all roads for the Clippers lead to them being the 5 seed and playing a first-round series that goes 6 games. Someone's going to get injured. It just happens every year for the Clippers. So that just pencil that team in as the 5 seed. Maybe they win the Mavericks got to the finals as a 5 seed, but I don't think the Clippers are going to win the championship. Their best players are still a 34-year-old Kawhi Leonard and a 37-year-old James Harden.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't feel like any amount of Bradley Beal and Brook Lopez, while they are, I think, one of the deepest teams in the league, I don't think their top-end talent is good enough to win a championship because they don't have one of the 7 best players in the league.
I am going to say the most likely thing to happen on this list, and it might surprise you. Yeah, and this is one that you added, Kyle. I think the most likely thing to happen on this list is that the Spurs make the playoffs.
Okay.
That's my initial thought. It's between the Spurs, the Thunder going back-to-back, I guess, since first team since
the Warriors
2018, and the Knicks just choking.
Yeah, that was going to be my pick, is Knicks don't make it to the conference finals, despite the fact that are they the betting favorites right now to win the East? It's got to be either them or Cleveland.
Yeah, it's them or Cleveland.
Yeah, I guess maybe the Knicks don't get to the conference finals kind of aligns with the Magic do make the conference finals, because I think the Magic are probably the 3rd best team in the East right now. But I just feel like in this East, the Pacers were the 5 seed last year, and they almost won the championship. So I think they were the 4 seed actually. But I just think in the East, any of those teams could pull off a win or pull off an upset. I mean, Cleveland is not this unbeatable team. The Knicks are not this unbeatable team, even though they both lost to the Pacers last year. Heck, maybe it's the Hawks. Maybe the Hawks unlock something with Kristaps Porzingis at center, and all of a sudden they're contending. I just feel like
something's always got to get unlocked, by the way.
It's always the Knicks, I think, would be the most disappointing, but also like we talk about Jalen Brunson, that good health is not exactly in the cards for Jalen Brunson, a 6-footer who his entire game plan is let me just throw my entire body at guys who are larger than me.
Right. Trying to get to the free throw line, and or is the easy answer the Thunder going back-to-back?
That's not, I feel like, an easy answer, just because it's so hard to do that in the NBA. We talked about the West yesterday when people were yelling at us to stop talking about the Lakers, but you've got the Timberwolves chomping at the bit. You've got the Lakers with Luka and LeBron now. You've got the unction with the Clippers. You've got the Nuggets finally said uncle and got rid of Michael Porter Jr., and now they have a deep team of veterans and young players.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really hard for the Thunder to go back-to-back.
If I put, and because I almost put this on the list, if I put Luka winning MVP, would you have picked that for most likely thing to happen?
No, I think I would still pick the Knicks.
Yeah.
And I only say that because Shea I know Luka has won a scoring title before and been an MVP finalist, but like Shea and Jokic were just so far ahead of the competition last year that I feel like it's just going to be Shea and Jokic again battling it out for the MVP.
Yeah.
But I'm a big Luka guy. I love Luka, and he's going to win an MVP at some point. I just can't say for certain it's going to be this year.
Yeah. So just as far as and look, I put the Kings on there for fun.
We haven't even mentioned it.
What would be the least likely? Okay, besides the Kings making the playoffs, what's the least likely thing?
Least likely?
And again, the list is Harden, CP3, and Bradley Beal get a ring. The Kings make the playoffs. The Knicks don't get to the conference finals. The Magic do get to the conference finals. Spurs make the playoffs. Thunder go back-to-back for the first time since a team has done that. And that was in 2018 with the Kevin Durant Warriors. Least likely thing to happen if you remove the Kings.
I wouldn't have even said the Kings. I think the least likely, I don't want to get too confusing. I think second worst is the Kings make the playoffs. The lowest for me is the Unction winning the finals.
Really?
I don't think. I personally don't believe a 37-year-old James Harden can be the best player on a team that wins a championship.
Yeah. And they were the sexy pick again this season. I really think that it would have been this season. I don't think they would have beat the Thunder, but you had everything. That's one way to look at it. Yeah, you added Bradley Beal, who I don't know if anybody's paid attention to Bradley Beal playing basketball the last 4 years, but you just had everything work out for you injury-wise, and you lost to a Nuggets team that actually wasn't very good.
And Aaron Gordon was like dragging himself out there on one foot.
Yeah. Not a very good team with a coach that had been fired.
Yeah.
And that's what you lost to. I don't think Bradley Beal makes you that much better. And on top of that, I think we could have a conversation if Kevin Durant decided to just waste his remaining years with the Suns. Him going to the Rockets adds a whole nut, like you said. It's bad enough Luka's on the Lakers. I just don't see Harden, CP3, and Beal being able to hang around with the rest of these teams.
I mean, if we didn't believe in the theory that all roads always lead to the Clippers being the 5 seed, I would say the Clippers are probably a play-in team right now. I mean, in this West, I feel confident that the Nuggets are better than them, that the Thunder are better than them, that the Lakers are better than them, that the Rockets will be better than them in regular season record because the Rockets will be healthier. I feel pretty confident the Timberwolves are better than them. And Golden State? ? Dallas ? Like, I kind of think of Golden State, the Clippers, Dallas, kind of all in that same category of play-in team.
And let's be honest here. You had a healthy season from Kawhi, which you almost never have.
Well, I guess after the first 30 games he didn't play.
Yeah, yes. After that.
After he did his injuries at the beginning instead of the end.
James Harden was an all-NBA player at 36 years old, and you got a random season from should have been an all-star from Norman Powell. Those 3 things happened, and you lost to, like I said, you lost to the Nuggets, who were dragging their you-know-what to the playoffs. Bradley Beal does not help you overcome all of that. CP3 does not. They got
John Collins.
And Lopez, too.
Yeah, Lopez and Zubac, who had an all-NBA season, according to Bill Simmons.
But if those things didn't happen, and I know they did add on, if those things didn't happen going into the season, we all thought that the Clippers were cooked.
Yeah, and I don't feel like this Clipper team is more talented than last year's Clipper team, which is kind of tough to say because we don't, most of the core players are still there, but like, I don't think adding Bradley Beal, Brook Lopez, Chris Paul, John Collins, but subtracting Norman Powell and a Plumlee and a couple other guys is really making them significantly better.
My only argument for the Norman Powell thing is we have no clue if Norman Powell is going to be that moving forward. So I don't think you were going to get that Norman Powell regard. I don't know, but you couldn't slot it in. It's not as if he's been doing this for the last 3 years. So
yeah, they still have Derek Jones Jr. though.
They do.
We'll see. But
He's somebody's Nikhil Alexander Walker's Jaden McDaniels.
Somewhere between Nikhil Alexander Walker and Jaden McDaniels.
He's somewhere between one of those guys that everybody else has in the NBA that the Kings don't have.
Yeah, I guess he kind of was the Nikhil Alexander Walker of that Dallas team that went to the finals.
I'm telling you, he was.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. So are you going with the Clippers, or are you saying least likely is Kings make the playoffs? Because I also would say I don't think the Magic are going to get to the conference finals.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Magic. Look, I'll be a homer. I'll just say the unction ain't getting a ring. I won't say the Kings. Not on the air, at least.
No. The Kings are obviously the most likely. But also, while I don't necessarily agree with the Magic's philosophy, I also acknowledge that if Paolo Banchero is a superstar, then it doesn't matter. They're going to be awesome.
916-339-1140. When we return, let's have that conversation I haven't had since high school. Dynamic stretching versus static stretching. Kyle has compiled a list of all the injuries the Niners are currently dealing with. They got to do something. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Big year. I'm starting middle school.
Welcome to the jungle, Missy.
Best part? My parents promised me a new laptop.
Perfect for homework, essays, and drudgery.
So we went to Staples. They had all the latest tech, and laptops were up to 40% off.
Woo! Another back-to-school budget saved by Staples Easy Button.
Mom high-fived the cashier. So embarrassing.
Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. In Z23 of select models only.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore, and every Viking voyage is all-inclusive with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Americans may not agree on much, but we agree on Social Security. We all pay in. It ought to be there when we need it. Social Security could face a funding gap in less than a decade, and I don't want to see a pay cut. I'm with AARP in the fight to protect the Social Security we earned.
Pledge to protect Social Security at aarp.org/weearnedit. That's aarp.org/weearnedit. Paid for by AARP.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic, semaglutide injection 0.5 milligrams.
Hey everybody, it's Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, and let me tell you about the great deals they have going on right now. You can receive up to $9,500 in bonus cash when you lease select models. Not interested in a lease? How about a certified pre-owned vehicle? That's right, they have low rates for up to 36 months, or maybe you're looking to buy brand new. Well, they got you covered when it comes to that as well. And if you're looking for an electric vehicle, well, check out their deals on e-sprinters. Take it from me, I'm now rolling in the finest ride I've ever had. I'm driving the all-new electric EQS SUV. I don't have to worry about filling my tank at all. It's a long-range vehicle. And not only do I love it, my family loves it as well. So take it from me, Kyle Draper. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is where you want to go to buy your new vehicle. They believe that when you buy the finest car in the world, you deserve the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5 or online anytime at mbfstockton.com.
High Voltage live boxing action returns to the venue on September 6th as Uppercut Promotions presents 6 big fights featuring undefeated fighters. Thunder Showdown September 6th at the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Tickets at Ticketmaster. Fight cards subject to change.
Live and local.
It's Allen Stiles
on Sacktown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. A little more than an hour with you as the Giants and Kai Wei Tang is going to attempt to save the Giants from being swept.
Hey, that pitching staff, though.
Yeah.
He has like a 5 ERA, but that pitching staff, though.
Yeah, but it's not really his fault.
He's only pitched 8 innings.
Yeah, it's not really. I mean, this is because of the Giants. You know, they've had some injuries in the rotation, so they're trying here. And Whitey Gleason's already in the building, so Kyle and Whitey's Padres attempting to sweep the San Francisco.
Oh, baby,
Giants.
we caught the Dodgers. We're tied. Allen, I know you're in your Giants land and locked on Giants, and you're all the way in, but guess what? This weekend, Padres, Dodgers, tied for the NL West lead, 3 games in Los Angeles. Oh, we're going to be hitting Shohei Ohtani with so many fastballs.
Hey, it's always fun. It's always fun watching the Dodgers and the Padres. I don't know, there's some talk about whether or not they are. This is a bigger rivalry than Giants Dodgers. We got to chill out.
Well, okay. Do you want as a biased Padres fan, do you want my 2 cents?
Sure.
I don't think it's a bigger rivalry, but the Giants have been down bad for so long that Dodgers fans don't really think about the Giants as much as they used to.
Dodgers fans
don't think as much about the Giants as they used to. Like in 2021, the rivalry was back.
Mm-hmm.
But like the Giants have, other than that, not been to the playoffs since 2016. So Dodgers and Padres have met in the playoffs 3 times now in the last 5 years. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just because they keep meeting over and over again that it is a bigger rivalry. I mean, to the players, it's no question. It's Padres, Dodgers. Those dudes hate each other. But to the fans, I think it's like if the Giants gave them a reason, I think Dodgers fans would go back to saying it's their biggest rival.
I think. Okay.
I think it's temporary right now.
I don't think you have, and I don't think you have to, it's always going to be there, right? I think because the Padres have a better team and a more electric team, a lot of people are going to think about those battles more. I mean, they're literally battling for the NL West. That's what it is.
Well, and they really hate each other. Their last series, they're throwing at each other.
I think there's plenty of hate to go around, right?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Especially when it comes to the Dodgers.
It's temporarily the Padres, is what I'm saying. If the Giants got back into the race, I think it would be the Giants. But temporarily, it's the Padres. For the Padres, it's obviously the Dodgers. God, that's always, we just hate the Dodgers.
So we were breaking down what the Niners have been doing from a stretching position. This is from John Chapman. And John Chapman, he is a content creator for the Niners, okay? And he's really big. If you follow Niners content creators, he organizes watch parties. They travel all around the U.S. following the Niners for the 49ersrush.com. And he had this to say: by far, one of the biggest differences between the Broncos and the Niners warm-ups is that the Broncos actually stretch. 49ers spend time doing dynamic warm-ups, but not a lot of static team stretches. And he has a picture Broncos are on the ground stretching, and the Niners are standing up doing the dynamic stretches. And I joked at the beginning of the show, this reminds me of when I was about 18, 19 years old, and that was the big change when it comes to sports. It was, no, we don't need to sit there and stretch anymore. Now it's dynamic stretching. That is the better way to approach it. And I'm sure there are both types of stretches are being done all throughout the NFL, and both types of stretches are being done, I would say, also with the Niners. It's just, and John says, not a lot of static team stretches. We have here a list of the current Niners injuries, all right? Brandon Ayuk, Jordan Watkins, Jauan Jennings, Jacob Cowing, Equanimeous St. Brown, who they just, when did he even get hurt? They just signed him.
I think he went on IR too.
Isaac Guerrero, Jordan James, Amir Abdullah, Kyle Juszczyk, Renardo Green, Yetur Gross-Matos, Kevin Givens, Michael Williams, Malik Mustafa, Jair Brown, Richie Grant, Evan Anderson, Jordan Elliott, Diamador Lenore, Fabian Moreau, Upton Stout, Nick Martin, Chaz Surratt, Taron Jackson.
Just for those keeping track at home, because I know he read off the names quickly, that is their starting strong safety, backup strong safety, and third string strong safety, all injured right now.
Ridiculous.
5 wide receivers, 3 running backs, a fullback, and Kyle Juszczyk. What is that? 4 cornerbacks, 2 linebackers, and 6 players on the defensive line.
I don't know what you do. You just continue to chalk it up to bad luck, because I'm not, we joked about Kyle Shanahan having a curse, and I'm sitting here literally talking about dynamic stretches versus static stretching. I don't know what else. This quote unquote bad luck has lasted for years. Did Kyle Shanahan secretly break a mirror? 7 years bad luck. Are we almost done with the 7 years? Did he break a mirror and nobody knew about it?
He broke a mirror by having Jimmy Garoppolo throw in that Super Bowl in 2019. So I guess by that standard, we're on year 6.
Is this higher than Kyle Shanahan? Did Jed York break a mirror? Did John Lynch break a mirror? What's going on here?
Apparently they broke a lot more than just a mirror.
And early on, I know I had said that the Niners, if they can't get right, I know I had said, what was it, 10.5? I know I was in the camp of taking the over. If they can't get right and get right quickly, I would keep an eye on that. If you are in the camp of if you are an under person, I would keep an eye on if Vegas thinks they're going to, because they're not going to have Brandon Ayuk. We already know that.
We feel like they're probably not going to have Jauan Jennings to start the season.
Not right now.
Both injury and contract reasons.
So early on, they're not going to have some of their guys. Getting to 11 is tough.
McCaffrey better not go down. They got no other running backs left.
And then you better run. If you're obviously not in California, but you better drive to get the helicopter to Reno, wherever it is. So they start out at Seahawks, at Saints. So this is how they're essentially getting right? So they won't be fully healthy at the Seahawks. We don't think they'll be fully healthy in NOLA, in New Orleans at Saints.
Oh, they better not lose that one.
I think that's the one reason Vegas is probably giving them some grace, because their first 4 games at Seahawks, at Saints, they host the Cardinals, and then they host the Jaguars. That's probably why, hey, you should be pretty close to healthy. And who knows, October 2nd is Matthew Stafford even going to be playing with the Rams?
Jimmy G returns home.
So I think now that I look at that, look.
It's the whole schedule, though. The whole schedule is like that.
Yeah.
There's only 3 really hard games on their entire schedule.
Now that I look at that, look, I'm not an under guy anyway. I'm never an under guy, but I can see why. I can see why you would go in that direction.
Yeah, because we already know they're shorthanded in a number of position groups. Mm-hmm. Linebacker being one of them, wide receiver being the most notable of them. But even before that, if you factor in the long-term injuries, how are they going to be able to, because they don't have the depth they used to have. So how are they going to be able to withstand that? Because I also love the idea that like they're just going to get healthier, as if this isn't football, and that more injuries are going to happen as the season goes along, possibly more important. Because like, even though we read off that list and Ayuk is super important, at least it's not Brock Purdy, at least it's not Nick Bosa, at least it's not Trent Williams or Fred Warner or the players that are actually super important to that. George Kittle, it's none of the super important players on the injured list.
916-339-1140. One more hour with you. Kyle and I started the QB tiers conversation. We're going to craft our list live as we argue about what Mike Sando put together, even though it wasn't Mike Sando's list. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Labor Day, our annual celebration of workers and their achievements, was first observed in New York, and the first Monday in September became a national holiday in 1894. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Each year we commemorate Labor Day with parades, picnics, and family gatherings. And right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings is celebrating with their exceptional whole store Labor Day sale. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, accents, or accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide Labor Day sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stanton, Omnia, Stickley, Flex Steel, and all the rest of the award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable Labor Day sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal, you should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Time now for your Sacktown Sports 1140 49ers report. Brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, conveniently located beside the Vacaville outlets. The Niners lost their first preseason game to Denver 30-9 on Saturday night. Few of the starters played for Mike Shanahan's team. Mac Jones started at quarterback and drove the team down the field for a game-opening TV drive. However, that was all the offensive scoring for San Francisco. Next up for the Niners, they play in Vegas this Saturday afternoon. It's a 1 p.m. kickoff right here on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Les Schwab Tire Centers and Bare Bones Workwear. Tickets at CITPfest.com.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Let's get it going. Last hour of the show on a Wednesday. And we started this yesterday. Okay? Started this yesterday. And as soon as I really took a look at this, I was not happy. I was not happy, all right? Looking at, and again, Mike Sando, he does not create these lists. They talk to scouts, GMs, people that really know what they're talking
50
about.
Scouts and executives.
So I'm questioning how much I know or how much I know what I'm talking about because some of this stuff doesn't make sense to me. And I'm a Joe Burrow guy. I love Joe Shiesty. I love him. But tying him with Patrick Mahomes, it's almost one of those things where we get it. He missed the playoffs and he played really well. Is he getting almost too much credit for that? Hey, well, we want to make sure that just because he didn't make the playoffs, we still understand how good he truly is. Just feels like we're going too far in that direction. So they have Joe Burrow tied with Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson 4, Josh Allen 3. I don't have a problem with. And then this Matthew Stafford thing is just that this combination, this 5, 6, 7 is such an issue for me with Matthew Stafford, Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert. Actually, 8. And throw 8 in there too. I don't necessarily mind that Jared Goff is 8, but because of who's 5, 6, and 7, him at 8 also kind of bugs me. It almost feels as if, I don't know, Kyle, it almost feels as if, and I know Jaden Daniels can run, but it feels like they're trying to tell us something. They're trying to tell us that if you don't have otherworldly talent outside, and this is outside of Matthew or Jaden Daniels, if you don't have otherworldly talent and you're not a top 4 guy, just do it. Just get the ball into the hands of your playmakers, right? Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert, Jared Goff. That's what they're kind of telling me. And I would put CJ Stroud in that conversation too.
I mean, maybe I'm not the biggest Jared Goff guy, but I feel like one of those things is not like the other when we're talking about Stafford, Herbert.
It's the point. And Herbert isn't really the point guard, right? Because he's got the big arm, but it's the point guard thing. It's a bunch of elite point guards.
I do think, though, that these other people elevate the talent around them. I have no evidence that suggests Jared Goff elevates the talent around him. It's that when he's had like super teams, he's gotten them into deep playoff runs. And when you've taken away his star weapons, he's put up some numbers, but also been kind of bad. So Justin Herbert, I've seen that dude hit wide receivers in the hands, have them drop it to lose football games, like single-handedly carrying the Chargers back in games that they lost. But maybe I'm just being a little harsh on Jared Goff.
Yeah, it's just kind of confusing between guys that have been established and really done things in this league, guys that they think have a high ceiling. So what they've proved, what they haven't proven yet, but I'm sorry. I can't have Stafford 5. I can't have Jaden Daniels 6. I can't have Justin Herbert 7. I don't actually mind Jared Goff 8, but I can't have those guys 5.
All right. So since we've gone back and forth on this over the last couple days, I'm going to pin you down. So it sounds like you're saying you only have 4 quarterbacks in tier 1, right?
Yes.
Which I think I agree. It's the 4 horsemen and then there's everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make you pin down right now. Who is your number 5?
I mean, this gets really, I understand why they put Stafford there because it does get tough. I'm not even that big of.
You're not the biggest Jalen Hurts guy.
I was gonna say I might just put Jalen.
It's the easy answer, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna put Jalen Hurts 5 to start. It's still the second tier.
At the very least, yeah, he's got to be in that tier, right? Because do I know for certain Jalen Hurts is better than Dak Prescott or Brock Purdy, who's mentioned on tier 2? I can't. I think he is, but I can't say for certain that he is.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Jalen Hurts at 5, but it's tier 2. Then
Stafford.
Yeah, I'll put Stafford in tier 2. After that,
yeah,
I'll go CJ there.
So then Jaden Daniels.
And I'll go Jaden Daniels after.
I guess my kind of thought is just like whatever your opinion of Jaden Daniels is should be the exact same for CJ Stroud. Like they're basically the same right now.
Right. CJ just has a sophomore slump under his belt with a terrible offensive line.
And all his receivers got hurt last year.
Right.
Tank Dell and Hutchinson and everyone.
Yeah.
It's Stephon Diggs.
So where am I at as far as the numbers?
So you have 5 Hurts, 6 Stafford, 7 Stroud, 8 Daniels.
Okay. All right. So that's where we are at. After that, I guess, like, I don't really want to put Herbert in front of Purdy. I don't really want to do it.
It should be him. It's already kind of crazy that you haven't put him yet.
All right, this is the last time I'm doing it. Justin Herbert needs to win something.
Herbert better show me something.
Yeah, this is the last time I'm doing it, and then I'll go Brock after Herbert.
So Brock over Jared Goff.
Yeah. Yes. And then
is there anyone else you want to add to tier 2? Because you have your top 10, Herbert 9, Purdy 10.
Yeah, Jared Goff can be the last quarterback in tier 2.
Okay. So Goff 11, and you have 7 quarterbacks in tier 2. So now do you want to go to tier 3 or do you want to add one more?
I'll go Dak to kick off tier. Gosh, this sounds so bad, but yeah, he could kick off tier 3 to me.
Okay.
And then after that, I'm going Baker.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I got no argument with Baker being in tier 3. Now, I'd say Dak is probably tier 3 too. Or sorry, tier 2.
Yeah.
But
And we could put him there. After that, Jordan Love. I might go Kyler over Jordan Love, to be honest with you.
Okay. So we'll put Kyler in here.
Is Kyler a bust?
No.
Are you sure?
No, he's just disappointing. Kyler, here's the best example I can give you right now. Kyler is the Andrew Wiggins of the NFL. It's not a bust. Still a franchise quarterback, but just not what we thought he was going to be.
Chuckles916 says, no one around here actually sat down and watched Jaden Daniels play football in DC and LSU. He had a ridiculous season. I did the same thing with CJ Stroud. I just want to see it. I see another season of this. And look, if it's just based on last season, then sure. We want to put him in top 5 after last season. Sure. That's not how I look at a body of work.
Well, and also people are just doing the playoff thing because he was not a top 5 regular season quarterback.
I mean, people were putting him in MVP conversations. I don't have a problem if we're looking at this one season. Me personally, I just look at bodies of work.
Sure. I could get behind that. So anyways.
We did the same thing with CJ Stroud last season. The same exact thing. Maybe there's a little bit more hype because he went deeper in the playoffs. But at the same time, CJ Stroud had to go up against Lamar. He's in the NFC.
Yeah, no.
Jaden Daniels is.
No, I get that. And Jaden Daniels is not in the quarterback conference. I mean, I personally think Justin Herbert should be 5. So I think that the top 5 quarterbacks in the league are all in the same conference. But if you play it out, Jaden Daniels could be the best quarterback in the NFC. That's totally fair.
I just want to see one more season. We've seen maybe not this with Jaden Daniels, but we've seen really good single seasons before.
All right, so do you want to add anyone else to tier 3? Right now we have Dak, Baker, Kyler, and Jordan Love. You got Bo Nix?
Not yet. See,
Nope.
I'm
okay.
I'm
Good.
consistent.
Good. Anyone else? Tua?
No. I got Bo over Tua.
Trevor Lawrence?
No.
All right, so let's go to tier 4 then. Who would you put in tier 4?
Geno.
All right, we got Geno at 16.
Geno. Sam Darnold, I'm just going to give him his respect.
I mean, you don't have to, but okay.
And then Tua. And then Bo Nix. Because again, I'm trying to be consistent here.
Sure. With your quarterback tiers list.
Besides Geno.
Yeah, besides Geno, which is purely emotional as Cronenworth's ball hits the bag to score 2 runs. That was so unlucky. So they had an inning-ending double play, and the ball hit the bag and went into center field. Tough break.
After that, does it really matter? It doesn't matter.
I think so. Where are you putting Aaron Rodgers?
Somewhere. Is Aaron Rodgers better than Bryce Young?
I just can't even fathom that comparison. I just it just doesn't compute in my brain that you can even compare those two. By the way, I'm proud of us for not doing Aaron Rodgers talk this year.
I did last year, but again, when I say I'm done with, I'm done with Herbert after this.
This is it.
It.
You're never going to believe in him if not now.
No, I'm done with Herbert after this. And you even talked me into it. After this, I am done.
Herbert is really good.
Then he should show it from time to time.
No, he's the Phillip Rivers of his generation. That's all I can say. It's so funny that the Chargers got 2 of these guys back to back, but he's just Phillip Rivers.
So where did I go wrong in my list? 916-339-1140. We know Chuckles thinks that Jaden Daniels should be top 5. I mean, I have him at what? I have him at 7 or 8. So, just show me something.
You have him at 9. Herbert 9.
You could. I have Jaden Daniels at 8 though.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels 8, Herbert 9.
You could swap Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud, and he could be 7.
Yeah, they're just tied for. Let's call it tied for 7.
Yeah, they're tied for 7. If Mahomes and Burrow were tied for first in the Athletics article. Kyle, what? I know you really want Stafford to be in top 5. You said you have no. You have
Herbert 5, but he's still tier 2.
5.
He's still tier 2. There's only 4 tier 1 guys. I'm just saying I would have Herbert kick off tier 2. Everything else is pretty much I agree with.
So at what point, I know they call it the ultimate team game. At what point do you need Justin Herbert to start winning? How long are you going to be on this train?
If the numbers stop looking awesome, right? So Sam Darnold last year was awesome, but he's also, I'm trying to think, who is the quarterback who made the playoffs last year, but we all knew he wasn't really the guy. I'm saying Sam Darnold because the Vikings were like, thank you for 14 wins. We don't need you anymore kind of situation, right? I know Sam Darnold was awesome last year, so it's not the perfect example. But if Herbert were to see, last year was the best season of his career in terms of quarterback rating, 23 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. If he starts looking like, I'll say Browns Baker Mayfield, where it's some seasons he's just playing awful, but they're still making the playoffs, I'll adjust it. But he's never had a season in his career where he's not a top 10 statistical quarterback. His entire career, he has never not had that. If he started having seasons like Jared Goff at the end on the Rams, then I would probably adjust my thinking. But he's literally, his entire career, he has thrown 137 touchdowns and 45 interceptions, which is like non-Patrick Mahomes category, the best touchdown interception ratio in the league.
So you have him over.
I have him over everyone except the big four, which is just a winning thing.
Yeah, and to be honest, outside of the big four, it's whatever floats your boat. People probably think I'm crazy for having Hurts 5.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to value winning because I don't even know. Look, we could have some crazy conversations about Jalen Hurts if things go in a certain direction this season. I'm just Stafford. I don't know if I should count health or not, but I kind of am.
You're not taking into account that he's going into what is the immortal chamber to try and fix his back.
If he's never fully healthy. CJ Stroud, I need to see more, but I've seen more than I have with Jaden Daniels. Justin Herbert, I want to see some winning.
Okay, and that's fine. I can't argue with you on the winning. Again, wins are not a quarterback stat, but I can't argue with you on the winning. And again, I very much don't like the Chargers, so it's weird that I'm being such a Herbert enthusiast here. But like, that's the only thing. We're arguing it because it's the only thing we really have a disagreement on. Pretty much everything else I'm with you, except for like, if you're telling me Dak is tier 3, I also need Jared Goff in tier 3. Dak and Goff need to be in the same tier, basically.
Rank these 3 quarterbacks: Dak, Goff, and Purdy.
I would go Dak, Purdy, Goff.
I would go Purdy in front of Dak because I've just seen, this is where seeing somebody has actually hurt them, and I've just seen Dak not get it done too many times.
I get it.
What was it, a couple years? I've picked the Cowboys to surprise people the last 2 or 3 years, and I've been wrong the last 2 or 3 years.
I'm
done.
I guess my problem with Dak is like, I'll take the evil I know versus the evil I don't, which is like, I know he's always going to be like the 9th best quarterback, but for like 8 weeks, he's going to be an MVP candidate.
No, he's going to get high.
Every 3 years for 8 weeks, he's going to be a MVP level candidate. The Giants are just getting smoked, by the way.
And Elliot Ramos just spiked. Bob Melvin might get fired after this game.
No, it's not going to happen.
Somebody getting fired.
That was so you missed the craziest part of this. So the ball that hit the bag for Cronenworth that scored 2 runs.
Look at this throw.
Oh no! Wow, this is terrible radio, by the way. But imagine fielding a baseball at the wall and throwing it 30 feet directly into the ground, allowing a run to score.
Bob Melvin might get fired.
And by 10 is gone.
Second inning.
Yeah, he made it 1 2/3, 6 runs.
So
wow.
All right, back to the.
Anyways, yeah. I guess I'm taking the evil I know versus the evil I don't, right? Because with Jared Goff, look, he's this generation's Derek Carr, right? He is as good as the team you put around him. With Purdy, I just feel like there's such a weird feeling going into this season with him that I guess I would just rather right now take the evil I know of Dak Prescott, where I've seen him be solid for like 8 years, versus Purdy, where it's like, hey, he's got the elbow issues and there's no receivers, and hey, they just got the big contract. How's it going to look kind of situation, I guess maybe is my only explanation.
Let's have some fun with the bottom of it, just because I feel like we understand where we are at, whether we agree with each other or not. As far as the up-and-comers, Kyle, all right, the Bryce Youngs of the world, Bryce Young, Bo Nix, Drake May, Caleb Williams, that's kind of where it starts. You have you can almost like rank the tiers of it as well. Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, Tua, Trevor Lawrence, Geno, and Bo Nix is in there. I'm just not a Tua guy. I would take Geno Smith over Tua. I would take Bo Nix over Tua.
I just wouldn't want to be the Dolphins this year. That team already has bad vibes.
I'm probably not taking Sam Darnold over Tua, but I want to. I really want to.
Yeah, it's a little disrespectful to Tua.
There's a difference between this season and next. Drake May, I think some people would say, hey, I'll take the future of Drake May over Tua, but I would take Tua right now.
Who is Tua's backup? Because I feel like, I saw Jacoby Brissett was with Arizona.
Did you see who is? I don't think he's the backup, but the reason Arch Manning didn't play, Quinn Ewers is on the Dolphins. I don't think he's QB2, but he's on the Dolphins.
Because I saw this weekend Jacoby Brissett, he's always lurking around. Apparently he's in Arizona, so he's waiting for
Best
Kyler.
job in the NFL.
But he's in that position where it's like you're right on the fringe of I'm one injury away from going in and trying to the Cardinals might be something. It's not like he's wasting away. I'm just trying to think who's waiting behind Tua, because I feel like that's if you wanted to prove yourself, that's the best backup job in the league.
That's where
right
Kenny
now.
Pickett should have went.
Yes. Well, he might start on the Browns.
I don't know, the humidity in Miami with his gloves. I don't know if it would have worked.
Don't love that. It is apparently Zach Wilson is the Dolphins' backup quarterback.
Zach Wilson in Miami. Hide ya.
Oh, they just threw a wild pitch to score another run.
Hide something.
Oh, it's going real bad for the Giants. 7-0 in the second inning.
Wow. I'm telling you, Bob Melvin, somebody getting fired. I don't know who.
They're going to fire Burrell first.
Yeah.
Man, 7-0 in the second. That's brutal.
Yeah, this is embarrassing.
Anyways, before we finish, while the Giants are also getting crushed, let's rank the young guys real quick.
You give me the names.
Of the young guys they kind of put all together, we have Drake May, Caleb Williams, which, by the way, I saw a futures poll on ESPN that said Drake May is going to be a top 10 quarterback next year or something. But anyways, Drake May.
He's not better than Bo Nix, but
Drake May, I'm not including Bo Nix. Bo Nix is older than Trey Lance. He's 26.
Okay, let's be respectful.
Bo Nix is not a young quarterback.
Okay, let's be respectful.
Drake May, Caleb Williams, Bryce Young, JJ McCarthy. I'll throw Penix in there, even though he's older, but we haven't seen him play yet. So you have May, Williams, Bryce Young, Penix, McCarthy.
I'm going Bryce Young.
Okay. Big Bryce Young guy you are.
I just saw him make that one play in the preseason. I said, he's back. Alabama Bryce is back.
I mean, he was pretty good.
I'm going Bryce Young. Look, everybody is saying I should go Drake May, but I'm going to go Michael Penix.
Yeah, you're a big Penix guy.
He's a lefty, right? He's got plenty of weapons. If it doesn't work out, he stinks. Then he actually stinks, okay? But give me Bryce Young, give me Penix, then give me May.
Then Caleb?
Yeah, man, that guy. That guy. I saw that clip so many times of him struggling with the net he was throwing into. It just didn't do it for me at all.
Yeah, just
I couldn't tell. He looked like he was kind of throwing a tantrum. I don't know if he thought he looked cool. I'm not. I was in on Caleb Williams. I was in. Brother, you got to show me something. And it doesn't help prop talk. That brother cooked me multiple times.
So if Herbert's on last chance, this isn't last chance for Caleb? Because the Bears.
It's not last chance, but it's not last chance.
No.
But these are two different last chance. We know Justin Herbert is an NFL quarterback. He just can't win games when it matters and lost to Trevor Lawrence.
But that.
Or they beat Trevor Lawrence.
Brother.
Who cares? They lost and then they won to Trevor Lawrence. This is the last time I saw.
They killed Trevor Lawrence and then somehow lost the game.
That's right. I know about Justin Herbert is that Jim Harbaugh is going to slap his shoulder pads. That's all I know.
But here's, I guess, my point with Herbert, though. I know it just all comes back to Herbert, but it's okay, yes, Herbert's a great player who doesn't get it done in the playoffs or in games that matter. Brother, that's the Chargers for the last 60 years.
I agree.
The Chargers. Herbert is great, but you can't take the Chargers out of the Chargers. They've been doing this since my grandpa was rooting for the Chargers, having great players that can't get it done in the playoffs. That might be the most cursed organization in football.
Okay, well, now you're starting a whole it's not
60 years of that. Like, we're going back to the 70s. They were like 10-4 or 10-4 and lost in the playoffs. It's crazy how they've done it for so many years.
When we return, we have the actual 2K ratings that are out. Also, Kyle has who ESPN ranks as the most miserable teams of the last 15 years. I don't know where the Kings rank, but we're going to guess together. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
Summer's flying by, and that back-to-school checklist, it's growing fast. New backpack? Check. School supplies? Check. Dentist appointment? Let's fix that. Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics is making it easy to cross dental checkups off your summer list fast, with priority scheduling for new patients and kid-friendly care that makes them smile. It's one less thing to worry about before fall. Call now or book online at kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com, because healthy smiles should be the easiest thing to check off your summer list.
The Hagen Oaks Cutting Edge Putter Fitting Studio offers you more technology, more choices, and more service. Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. With $30,000 worth of state-of-the-art technology ready for your fitting, Hagen Oaks will help you make your best putting stroke while finding the best putter design, shape, hosel, length, and loft for your game. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for more.
Allen Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by DTLA Law Group. Max Muncy, out with that right hand fracture, has started to perform baseball activities, but still nothing as of early August. His expected return is late August. Jacob Wilson, out with that left forearm fracture, has begun playing catch and running. The hope is for him to return sometime in September. That was your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by DTLA Law Group. Hey, I'm Allen Stiles. Injured at work? Call downtown. DTLA Law Group, California's leading injury law firm. With over 40 lawyers throughout California, they have won over $500 million in settlements. DTLA Law Group will get you compensation for your work injury. You don't pay unless they win. That's right. You pay $0 up front. Call downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. Visit them at calldowntown.com. Text charges may apply.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our Giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Honda Summer Event and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. See all our specials at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
The Hagen Oaks Cutting Edge Putter Fitting Studio offers you more technology, more choices, and more service. Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. With $30,000 worth of state-of-the-art technology ready for your fitting, Hagen Oaks will help you make your best putting stroke while finding the best putter design, shape, hosel, length, and loft for your game. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for more.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Averyana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Les Schwab Tire Centers and Bare Bones Workwear. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, inviting you to come join them every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. It's a safe and friendly environment, plenty of well-lit parking available, and it's conveniently located right there in downtown Sacramento. And remember, best food, best service, best games, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Allen Stiles,
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sacktown Sports.
Nine 1140, taking you up to 2 p.m. And 916 says, imagine being a Kings and Chargers fan. Yeah, that's tough sledding.
Well, according to ESPN, there are worse combinations.
They have combination. Well, I guess you would just take the combinations.
So they created this thing called the Misery Index where you can input your own teams.
That's actually insane. That is the most off-season thing I've ever heard of. Good for them.
Yeah. So you can input your teams and it'll give you a score of how miserable you are or are not as a fan.
That's actually impressive. That is actually impressive.
It's kind of fun. I did it this morning with my teams, but the Kansas City thing is throwing it off.
So how do they rank it though? Or like if you put in, let's not do the Kings, let's do somebody else because we're going to reveal the Kings. If you put in just the Clippers and the Chargers, what do they say?
So basically it's a scale of 1 to 100.
Okay.
And 100 means most miserable, 1 means most charmed, right? So I'll give you an example real quick.
So Niners Warriors would be.
So Warriors are literally 0.
Yes.
So the Warriors come in at 0 on the chart. So let me see where the Niners are. Niners is 54, which is 25th in the NFL. So they weight it like if you just won a championship, you're at 0. But a lot of them are kind of in like the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s.
Before we get into this even deeper, we have to make right the NBA 2K26 ratings. Okay, so these are the only ones that have been released. Thank you to Chris Watkins, who kind of helped me figure out that they have not been released yet. But this is real. Okay, this is real. It's a whole rollout. So top 10 in three-point shooting, Zach LaVine comes in at number 6. All right, behind Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, still at 89. Desmond Bane's at 88. Isaiah Joe is at 88. And Zach LaVine's at 87, along with Grayson Allen, Luke Kennard, Sam Hauser, and Anthony Edwards. Next, for the mid-range, the best middies in the game. All right, Jokic at 98, Kyrie Irving at 98, Kevin Durant at 97, Devin Booker 97, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander 97, Andrew Nembhard 97, Steph Curry 97, and DeMar DeRozan at 96. All right, so DeMar DeRozan on that list as well, coming in at number 8. And the most surprising one, as far as I'm concerned, top 10 speed with the ball. Somebody out there is going to be really happy about this. So you're thinking top 10 speed with the ball, that guy's gone. De'Aaron Fox, 97, number 1. Ja Morant, 95, tied with Isaiah Collier as well. Jamal Sheed, that all at number 5, all at number 2, or tied for number 2 at 95. Jeremiah Fears at 92. He hadn't even played yet. Jeremiah Fears at 92. Rob Dillingham at 91. Tyrese Maxey at 90. Tied with 4 other guys at 90. Top 10 speed with the ball. So tied for 7th, Tyrese Maxey, Scoot Henderson, Amen Thompson, and Devin Carter.
God blessing me with his body.
Devin Carter is ranked 90 for speed with the ball. All right.
Sure.
Okay.
Did you see, so Law Murray, who's down there in LA, was saying that today, Devin Carter, Nick Clifford, Reynaud, Daquan Plowden, and Isaac Jones and were running games somewhere, and they were like on the court for an hour together. And I think it was the DeMarvelous Fox guy asked, like, how was Devin Carter? And he was like, I don't know how his shot goes in, but it went in.
Wow.
I marvel at how his shot goes in, but they were going in.
The same thing has been said about my jump shot. So shout out Devin Carter, 90 on the NBA 2K26. And these are real, by the way. These are for sure real. All right, Kyle, let's fire up the
misery index.
Misery index. Let's do the obvious one. Or what would... yeah, go ahead.
So they rank it from 1 to 100. So 100 means the most miserable. And they in the thing they ask, like, have you been a fan 5 years, 15 years? But they at the very end, they give you the definitive list of the most miserable teams of the last 15 years.
All right.
So
where are the Kings?
The Kings, among basketball teams, are tied for 4th in terms of most miserable.
All right.
They came in at a 93 on the misery index.
Trying to guess the other teams.
So there are 3 teams worse than them, and also 2 more teams tied with them at 93.
Okay.
So 6 teams in this group we're trying to guess.
4th is crazy.
Among all sports, which is the ones they gave were NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, WNBA, and NWSL. They came in tied for 12th.
Man.
Along with the other 2 aforementioned NBA teams and the Raiders.
Come on, dude.
Both were 93s.
Wow. All right. Well, so does that mean if you're Kings Raiders, you're at 93?
Yes. If you're a Kings and Raiders fan for 15 years, you would score a 93, which they classify like 81 to 100 is just woeful.
Wow.
Which, again, it could be worse based on combinations.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a worse combination. You could be, Pirates?
Pirates were not on here, actually. Or at least not on the top 16.
All right, let me guess the other.
The one worst combination, like geographically close to each other, is White Sox-Bears.
Man. Yeah, that's a tough one. And now you got Caleb Williams. Let me guess the other 3 NBA teams that are tied or worse than the Kings. One's got to be the Wizards.
Wizards are 3rd lowest. So, yes, you would be correct. I guess. Yes, the Wizards are they came in at a 94, 3rd most miserable team of the last 15 years.
I don't know if this is them because they did have that stretch with CP3. The Hornets?
You're saying New Orleans or Charlotte?
No, I'm saying Charlotte.
CP3 never played for Charlotte. CP3 played for New Orleans. So Charlotte Hornets.
Charlotte Hornets.
You're going with Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte Hornets are number 2. They were a 97, which was tied for 2nd worst, along with the Jaguars, Jets, and Buffalo Sabres.
Right. So with that being said, the New Orleans team, I don't think can be on there because they had CP3. They had some moments with Anthony Davis and Boogie, and they didn't really have too much with Zion, but it can't be the Pelicans.
The Pelicans are tied with the Kings at 93.
So they're the last team?
No, they're tied with the Kings for 4th.
Okay.
There's
one more team worse.
There's one team worse, and then one more team tied with the Kings. And by the way, this team that is the worst on the entire any sport. This was the worst at a 98. The only 98 they gave out was this team.
The Jazz had the Donovan Mitchell era. The Blazers had Dame. The Spurs, it can't be the Spurs just on principle because they have Wemby now.
Well, they also won a finals in the last 15 years. Here's they made the playoffs last year, but they were not in the playoffs for like 12 years before that. Think big turnaround.
Big turnaround
after like 12 years of being just awful.
Oh. Well, you gave me too much of a hint, but it's the Pistons.
Yes. The Detroit Pistons have been the worst team to be a fan of the last 15 years in any major professional sport. They came in at a 98. And then the last team tied with the Kings was the Orlando Magic. So if you're keeping track at home, most miserable Pistons, second most miserable Hornets, third most miserable Wizards, tied for fourth the Kings, the Pelicans, and the Magic.
Interesting. Hey, how woeful are you? Are you able to combine three? Can you combine three sports?
Yes.
Kings 530. This is Greg from Yuba City. Kings, Raiders, A's.
They were actually very generous with the A's.
Because of all their the playoffs.
Yeah, they've made the wild card a couple times. The A's came in at an 88. So if I'm doing quick math, that would be a 92.
Okay.
Which is still really bad, but they were more generous to the A's than I think they should have been.
You Kings, Raiders fans, y'all are built different, and I guess I'm part of you now.
And if you're still one of the 27 A's fans that are still around, Kings, Raiders, A's is a pretty nasty combo.
And the problem with the misery index is that it doesn't say where you're headed, right? The Pistons are on their way. Well, we would have said the same thing about the Kings in 2023. But the Pistons are, we believe, on their way out. The Magic, yes, the Magic are on their way out. They have a foundational player. The Kings may not have the past that the Pistons have, but they also have guys that are all above 34 years old.
Yes, the Pistons got Cade Cunningham. Wow. And so that is why you feel better about them and why you were maybe a little bit surprised that they were number one on the misery index.
Misery loves company. That's why Whitey Gleason joins us on the other side to close out the show. I'm looking at him as I say that. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports. Senor Segway strikes again.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Labor Day savings are on at Elk Grove Chevy with $10,500 off MSRP. Every new 2025 Silverado 1500 5.3 liter after all rebates. And Elk Grove Chevy has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $10,500 off new Silverado exclusively at the Elk Grove Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MegaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Excludes work parking, DR2, Metro 2011 Chevy Power Truck. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Made a great deal at Meda.
Around here, the summer can smack you silly, especially if your AC is not functioning at a high level. Whitey Gleason here. I had the opposite problem over the winter. System went down. It was panic time, but Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating saved the day. Let them save you from unnecessary summer misery. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, reliable, trustworthy. They do great work. They won awards for their service. Check the reviews at leesair.com. Find out about their $99 HVAC tune-up service. Save your summer now. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating on the web at leesair.com. License number 635355.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Averyana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Les Schwab Tire Centers and Bare Bones Workwear. Tickets at CITPFest.com. High Voltage Live boxing action returns to the venue on September 6th as Uppercut Promotions presents 6 big fights featuring undefeated fighters. Thunder Showdown September 6th at the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Tickets at Ticketmaster. Fight cards subject to change.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
What were you doing there? One more segment with you. Whitey Gleason joins us in the tundra. Mm-hmm. Hey, so your guy, Bob Melvin's about to get canned, eh?
I'll send an SOS to the Giants. I don't know. They're off to a slow start today. Got something cooking.
He has to.
He does not.
Yes, he does.
They're going to get rid of Burrow before that.
Firing Bob Melvin. No, they can't do it, Alan.
Okay.
Are the Giants firing Bob Melvin?
Did you hear what I said when I said misery loves company before I...
Yeah, that was great.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
How many points do you give yourself for that segue?
No,
0
Kyle
to 10.
does the points, not me.
But if you were to score yourself.
I will give you a 3.5.
Out of 10?
No, out of 5.
Out of 5.
It's a 5-star rating system.
That's good. That's a good review.
That's right. We went back and forth with your tier list.
It's not my tier list, but thank you. I mean,
Mike Sando.
It's very informative.
Yeah. And your guy, Jared Goff.
He is my guy, I'll be honest.
Over Brock?
No. But Jared Goff's good.
You got Brock top 10?
Let's see. They had him like 14th, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Not to dodge the question, but it doesn't matter if he's top 10. It's just how many other quarterbacks in the league, no matter who we're talking about, are better equipped to make the 49er offense go than Brock Purdy. That's really all that matters. But I'll put
What does that mean?
Yeah, well, it means that every quarterback is a system quarterback. Every quarterback is either brought in to run the system or the system is based, there's a wild pitch, pass ball, or the system is based on the quarterback. So Brock Purdy is, I think he's a top 10 quarterback. Yeah. And gives the 49ers a chance to win a Super Bowl. I know that seems like a bit of a stretch right now.
Yeah.
But I think they're in really good shape quarterback-wise.
No, I hear you. The last one I'll give to you that I really I didn't know what to do with. I don't know what to do with Dak Prescott. I don't. I watched that. I watched the Hard Knocks a couple years ago when it was Dak, and you get to see a different side of these guys, and he's cussing, he's doing all. I'm thinking, man, this is the guy. This is the guy. And 2 seasons, another injury and just losses in big games. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with everyone. Hey, you're being disrespectful to Dak Prescott. He's going to put up good numbers, sure, but I have no clue who he's better than. I know who he's not better than. I don't know who he for sure is better than out of that same group. The Brocks, the Goffs, even the Bakers, if you will. I don't know who he's better than.
For all the talk in sports these days about culture, this team wants to improve their culture, that team. I think Dallas has, however you define culture, I think they have a bad one. And I think it drags all their players down. And I think all their players end up looking like they're underachieving a little bit.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. What's coming up on the show today?
Today, we're going to talk to Law Murray. Law Murray was witnessing
that's right.
some King scrimmages yesterday and apparently came away very impressed. And also 90s hip-hop legend Candyman in studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. The King scrimmages, I know Kyle mentioned Devin Carter. Who else was down there?
It was Plowden, Carter, Neek, Isaac Jones, and Rayno. And yeah, Law Murray says they were on court for about an hour and they didn't lose any games.
Really?
Yeah.
I will say, after the show, you can go down to 9th and P in Sacramento, and I will be on the court for an hour without losing also. So it's not a big deal. We don't know who they were playing.
You know what that sounds like, Whitey?
What's that?
Run the Tankathon again. That's what we need to do. Let the young guys do what they need to. Let me do it one more time, Kyle.
Well, that's going to be the future Stockton Kings.
One more time. And they dropped to 9th again. It's broken. It's broken.
Oh, yeah, it's not functional.
It's not working.
Kyle, could you beat one-on-one? If you played Allen, could you beat him one-on-one?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
No.
Yeah, I'm actually really good at basketball.
No.
He has just the most confidence in himself as a basketball
And there's
player
no tape.
I've ever
There's
seen.
no tape.
There's
a video.
Tape is not great.
There's
It's
a
of him
video
trying to dunk and he can't.
There's no
there's
tape.
a video somewhere of me trying to dunk in these pants and not getting it.
There's zero tape.
I can tell you my win percentage on the court over 70%.
There's no tape, man.
Sure, because I'm not filming myself at all times.
Well, I am.
That's why I asked him, because I knew what his answer would be. Oh, yeah, I'd beat him easy.
Yeah, again,
It doesn't matter if it was you, anybody at the station. Could you beat him?
Yeah.
He'd say, yes, I could beat him easily.
me, my guy Jay, not that Jay, my guy Phil, a couple of the unks, we'll be on the court for an hour without losing.
I'm going to pull up just to watch.
Let's
my
go.
Achilles.
Let's take him on.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to play.
Yeah, we got to play.
I'm not going
Oh,
We got a squad together.
do I get to play Whitey?
I'm not going to play.
You don't want any part of that.
That's right. That's right. I'm not going to play. But look, I'll play if you're talking mess.
You stand in the corner and I'll hit you, Alan. You knock down those threes.
I'm more of a
at least-
slasher.
You got to at least try to get in somebody's way at the other end.
No, I know. I'm a hard defender.
I know, but you're injured right now.
No, I'm back.
Yeah, the other problem is I'm a great rebounder, so I'm just going to go right over
This
you,
is
right
insane.
It is. It's he's very consistent with us.
Wow.
I got.
What did Draper say when he heard this?
I don't remember.
Draper said he did the thing. He was like, well, let's play one-on-one, and then we never followed up.
No, we need to make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be a basketball hoop in the garage
No,
down
we need to
here, and
find
then Doug Christie broke it.
He did. Yeah. I've heard that story as well. You might have been here when it happened. I've only heard the story.
I never worked here with Doug. Doug was gone by the time I got here.
He's still around. Doug's always going
2-on-2 station tournament. Let's go, Alan.
Let's do it. I'm great in 2-on-2.
Are you?
Yeah, because
You
I
ever
stress
pass the ball?
floor. Nah, because I'm cutting.
If it goes by shows, you guys will be a team.
Oh, Alan, you better bring it.
Then he better. He better. Well, you know what? And every time I get that itch, I see something on social media. Did you see the Mariano Rivera video?
I didn't watch it. If I'd come across it, I would not have watched it.
Again, I think he's in center field for the Old Timers game. And if you're not picking up what we're putting down, Mariano Rivera tore his Achilles during the Yankees Old Timer game. And it's that negative step, man. And it just, Whitey, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. And I just, now let me get these couple miles in jogging and just take my butt home. Every time. So, but I could be convinced. All right. I shouldn't have to convince you to stay for the Senor Segway strikes again.
Just getting a little annoying.
What do you say, Whitey? Is that a 1.5 star, 2 star?
Whitey, rate that for me.
That's a 2.5.
Come on.
But it's also tough because he set up his own Segway.
Right.
That's what I'm supposed to do.
It's not as impressive if you set up.
No, but then it's worse if it's bad and you set it up.
Right.
Whitey Gleason, Kyle Draper, Jay Johnson. Thank you to Kyle Ledbetter, the station's Michael Jordan. Thank you to all. Thank you to Jake Gaden, all the callers, texters, sack chatters. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see if the Giants end up losing by double digits. And until tomorrow, secure the bag like the bean.
Don't forget my podcast.
Gotta go.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can